All right, y'all. We are live now. It's election night, and we are looking at the results. We are looking at the results right now. It's election night. As you know, I'm sad to report, as many people, probably predicted, Donald Trump does win my state of Florida again. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call Florida for Trump because it's like I don't see any way Biden can win that state. Yeah. Let me know what y'all think, man, because it's Jesus Christ. I don't. Damn it. Yeah, let me know what y'all think, man.
Um,
I'm just sad right now. I'm really sad. What y'all think?
well, did he get Dave County?
Hell
Dave?
no.
No, he didn't get Dade County. Of course he didn't.
My camera good. Let's see.
He said, "Hell no."
Nah, he definitely didn't get Dade County. He wasn't gonna get Dade
You
County.
say something.
But like
Republicans will never get South
Dade
Florida.
County
They
was
might
really
get
close
West
to
Palm Beach.
everything.
Yeah, well, I think Trump definitely got Texas, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Trump was gonna get Texas. I knew that was gonna happen.
Texas is becoming a swing. It was becoming a swing state. It'll be purple probably like in the next 8 years.
I mean, hasn't Florida always been a red state?
Yeah,
Hell no.
Yeah, they've been.
Florida flips
purple,
back and
right?
forth, man. It's a swing state.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
shit.
purple state.
It's a swing state. Yeah, it flips back and forth. It's really, really weird. How's everybody day going though, man? Everybody being safe?
Yeah, man.
About as safe as I'll ever be, honestly.
Gotta wear this
Yeah, man.
while I'm talking to y'all, just in case y'all got corona.
Catch it through the damn
virtual
through the screen.
Yeah. But nah, yeah, my day was good, man. I worked all day, shit. So
Yeah, I worked too. Did my end of the year evaluations with my manager and everything, so it went pretty well. Yeah.
yeah, good. I busted a gas line today, so that was fun. What about you, Bossy Fed? What y'all on? What y'all do today?
Man, I just been cleaning my place because I got a new place. I'm at my folks' house now because my place doesn't have internet yet. But yeah, man, I just been cleaning up, getting new furniture and everything like that, and I just been up to that all day.
Congratulations on the place. That was a quick move.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
You had a lot of help.
I had no help moving into nowhere. Yo.
Yeah,
I moved all that crap by myself, so I had no help.
It's fucked up.
You know how that go. It's all good.
On my side, things was pretty chill. Brandy Volsi actually came to Florida for her birthday. Her birthday was Sunday on the 1st. So she was down here in down in Kissimmee. Yeah, she was down here for like about 5-6 days. She left about 3 hours ago.
Yeah, had a good time.
She flying back to. Yeah, she we went bowling. Took her to Austin's Coffee House up there in Winter Park. Got to show her around the neighborhood and whatnot. But other than that, she was just here chilling, being away from Nevada and shit. She got to go back there to 50-degree temperatures and whatnot. Sucks to be her, but
Cool.
Can't
Man.
relate
So
right
what
now.
y'all think about tonight? Man? How y'all predicting it? Right now, it's a toss up to me. I don't know if Biden or Trump is gonna win. It's a really big toss up. So yeah, let me know what y'all think. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Biden or Trump.
Fam, I'm gonna say it now. Y'all gonna hate me for this shit. Trump gonna take this shit for the second time.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, nothing is going to happen.
I don't know about that.
Like
I'm pretty
saying like
sure
a civil war type of nothing's gonna happen.
Nah, none of that.
I don't know about nothing gonna happen because like I've said from the beginning, no matter who wins, there's gonna be violence. No matter who wins.
I mean, the thing is, even at other elections, even after other election results, there's been violence. But just judging off of what's been going on the past few months, there will definitely be some violence. The only question is how intense will it be?
Yeah, I agree.
That's the only thing we just can't agree
on.
I definitely think it'll be.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if by some miracle, Trump loses, it's I don't think people are. I mean, I just saw a video on Twitter the other day of people surrounding cars of people who have Black Lives Matter on their car and just harassing these people. You feel me? Almost ran a Biden truck off the road. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of our conservative constituents would say that the violence is only happening on the left. I really doubt that. You feel me? Like I really feel that a lot of this violence is going to come out the right too if Trump loses.
It's gonna be 10 times worse. I think it's gonna be much scarier because they're gonna come with the guns. The thing is, the left, they tend to they're.
You're breaking up, Nep.
That boy froze in place.
Yeah,
that boy froze. I think what he was gonna say is that the violence on the left
that comes from left, but from the right, they might actually start shooting. They're not gonna be playing; they're gonna be shooting, man.
How did this catch up like that?
Yeah, I don't know. But hey, listen, that's why I say, man, I hope y'all being safe out there. Because listen, I live in Miami, but even if I live in Miami, there's a whole population of supporters out here
how he plans to try and bridge some of the.
I hope y'all being safe out there. Because I'm being safe out here. You know what I mean? So I hope y'all being safe out there. We'll talk. Yeah, man.
Sure. I
came to I came here to my people's my folks' house because like they live 10 minutes away from Trump County. You know what I mean? So I had to come here and make sure that they all right. They got a Black Lives Matter flag hanging outside the house. So I had to come here and make sure they're gonna be good.
I saw you drilling, man. Just giving the Roscoe around today, bro.
I gotta carry the Roscoe, bro. Like I gotta carry it, man. You gotta carry it. For me, like it's. I feel that the left needs to embrace protecting ourselves and having weapons more because we really don't.
Well,
man, y'all target, man. Y'all target. That's why, man. I try to. My philosophy is like. I don't even let too many people know my political views. Anybody who isn't in my close circle, they're not gonna really know my political views. Just like so, I don't become a target, man.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was talking to a customer.
Smart.
Oh yeah, I was talking to a customer today, and she was a liberal, the one I was talking to, and I pretty much was telling her like I love being in the middle. I'm a moderate, and I love that because I feel I didn't vote because of that too, because I feel like I used to lean left, but now I don't lean any side. I'm really just dead ass in the middle, especially with all the policies they're trying to pass. Each party has something I just hate. Y'all know how I am about my gun, so I'm not supporting what Biden want to do at all. So I'm just happy I'm in the middle because I don't really have to feel like I'm compelled to one side. Like I have to say, hey, yeah, I'm a Republican, or hey, I'm a Democrat, and if Trump wins, fuck you. I don't have to say that. I really don't care who wins. I mean, my life's not going to change, so I really don't care.
I feel that. I mean, I'm a registered independent. Like I'm not part of any party, but like everyone knows, I do lean more heavily to the left. I think one of the things that I don't lean to the left on is these. You know what I mean? Because I'm more. I would say myself. I'm much more of a Malcolm X or Huey P. Newton leftist than a Bernie Sanders one, because like while I agree a lot with a lot of policies of Sanders, like this right there, controlling our weapons, like I'm way closer to the Black Panthers than I am to him. You feel me? Right. The only thing that makes me a little bit more right in the Black Panthers is that I don't believe communism works. You feel me? The Black Panthers were huge commies, and I don't believe it actually works. I don't believe Marxian economics works on a large scale. You feel me? So that's really the only thing that I would say that differentiates me from the Black Panthers. But basically, almost everything else that they believe in, I'm that. You feel me?
Yeah.
There's never really been a country where Marxism has worked. Every country that tried to implement it, they actually became more capitalist in order to basically make more money, in order to like produce more revenue for their country.
Exactly.
China included. They're actually like a controlled capitalist society.
Yeah,
exactly. I've seen that said before that China is state capitalist, where the government and the state, they actually control where basically they basically act as a corporation, but they're the government. You know what I mean?
Pretty
Which is
much.
basically state capitalism. And there are a lot of Marxists who says that that's how it works. That's how capitalism is supposed to work. I mean, that's how Marxism is supposed to work. But nah, you making excuses, bro. That ain't how it's supposed to work.
They're trying
You
to
know
say the
that.
government is supposed to nationalize industries and own and control the industries.
Yeah, exactly, and kind of run them for profit. But
and everybody's supposed to get like an equal cut. All the people, all the workers, or whatever, right? You kind of working for
good luck
free.
with that.
Supposedly, but then the government, they still receive, like, people who are working for the government, they're still the elite at some point, because like you don't get rid of classes by paying everyone equally except the people who are running the government. It still has some classism and inequality, income inequality.
Hey guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but big news, yo. Joe Biden is winning in Texas with 62% of the voting.
Wow.
That I'm shocked.
That's not surprising, actually.
You know what? I can believe that. This is why a lot of people in Texas right now are actually people who come from California. So over the past few years, a lot of people immigrating to Texas actually came from California, and they're probably voting more blue than a native Texan.
A lot of our cities are blue, and our cities are growing in Texas. So that could be something too. Definitely.
Yeah, true. I mean, I have heard that Texas can turn purple in a few years because there's more people, not only more people immigrating, but more people moving to the state from around the country. It's becoming a lot more diverse. Yeah, I mean, so when you have an immigrant population, and the immigrant population that's in Texas, which is mostly Mexican, they're not really going for, they don't really like Trump right now, ever since he's called them rapists and thugs and stuff like that. So maybe it can turn blue, but like I was really surprised that it's happening now. I really thought that would take like another 20 years. You know what I mean? But that demographic shift is real. If Biden wins Texas,
that's huge. Joe Biden, you said 61% or 51? I'm looking at 51.
Oh, I must have read that wrong. It must be 51.
Yeah.
And of course, Trump is winning Florida. Trump is winning my crazy ass state.
Sorry, man. I was trying to pull up the Facebook live and then share it around some.
All good.
Didn't realize the volume was
all
on.
good. Well, I predicted Trump would win Georgia as well. I knew Trump would win Georgia. In the beginning, Trump in the beginning the Georgia vote was going for Biden, but I was like, that's gonna be Trump really soon. I knew that. But Florida, I was my bad, go ahead.
Biden only have what, three or four states right now for sure.
Yeah, 3 or 4 states for sure. Ohio is really competitive right now. Trump is catching up in Ohio, but Biden is pulling out. Biden's pulling out in Ohio. He's pulling out in Pennsylvania as well. Those are 2 states that Hillary lost. So he's pulling those out. So we'll see what happens. I mean, he's pulling them out by a pretty comfortable margin too. So
you said Ohio?
Yeah, Ohio. By this time last year, Hillary was actually losing Ohio. So Biden is performing way better than Hillary did the last time. You feel me?
2016 reputation. Yeah, he's 54% in Ohio.
Exactly. During the 2016 election, around this time in the beginning, she was losing Ohio all night. So we knew that Trump was going to win Ohio. You feel me? When Trump won Ohio, when I saw he was winning Ohio, I was like, okay, he's probably going to be president. You feel me? But now that he's losing in Ohio at this point, we got to see what happens, man.
I feel like at this point with the election, if you are a person that chooses to vote for Trump, I mean, vote for who you want to vote for. I mean, whatever. But if you're a person that chooses to vote for Trump at this point, seeing all that he has and hasn't done, things he said, shit he's tweeted and whatnot, and still feel like this is the guy that should be in charge. It's like, I question all your decision-making skills at this point. My thing is this. I think it's really significant to know the states that Biden's pulling ahead in, because I feel like a lot of people who are voting, whether they decide to go left, right, Dem, Republican, whatever it may be, had a chance to legit see everything. Because before, when the niggas was running in 2015 and 16, we didn't really know as much about Trump as we do now, despite this nigga being, 73 years old now? So we've had a lengthy history with this man, but like we've actually had a chance to see legit what 4 years of this man looks like. And I feel like that has made a lot more people inclined to go vote, period. And I think that's dope. And I think that's really the only significance between this election and the last was that, okay, we know what Hillary has been a part of. We don't know shit about Trump's political, history because he has none. So niggas that voted for him and put him in office the first time were like, okay, we just want to try something new. But now it's like, either if you vote in, then it's clearly you're ready for him to double down and see what the next 4 years brings, or you're sick of it, regardless of what side you stand on. Is like this nigga gotta go. We gotta get him out the paint. So I feel like this particular election, the votes that come in and which states turn which colors or stay which colors, really will tell the long term story of what we really felt about the last 4 years. And I think that's the most important thing from this thing.
Well, honestly, I think you want to go ahead?
No, go ahead, Noah. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is that there's been, I think that Trump kind of, if he lost, I would say that he would have to blame himself over the past, I would say 8 months, because I think that his comments, his reaction to Black Lives Matter protests, his the way he handled the pandemic and the lockdown, and also the fact that he destroyed the pandemic response team. He basically defunded them, and just honestly his behavior over the past 8 months. If he loses, he basically shot himself in the foot, and he ensured that he would lose because he just hasn't handled the two major things over the past 8 months in a very presidential manner. I think that he probably hurt his own presidency for that.
What's really nuts about this whole thing, right, is that if Trump is nothing else, and I've said this a million times, I stand on it, you cannot convince me otherwise, that if the Trump campaign that's running right now was running back in 2016, it would have been a landslide fucking victory. Because if nothing else, this man has got to be the most watchable president of all time.
He's a fucking
like, dude, I noticed at one point there was a rally that was going on where Biden was going to a rally, several rallies, I think in the state of like I think it was like I think it might have been in Ohio or it might have been Indiana. Trump said one damn thing, and that's all we heard for the next week. It's like this dude knows how to get people's attention and keep it. And it's like, how can something that can be taken out of context, be completely wrong, be more the focus than it's like, damn, Biden, do something, bro. Like, bite the head off a bat, my nigga. Kick a child. Do something to get the people. I'm like, do something to get the people's attention. You are failing at this. Like, no matter what. It's like, dude.
I mean, the thing is about that is that here's the thing that is true. I've said that all the time. Trump is extremely entertaining. He's great to watch. I mean, he lives for TV. Exactly, he's entertaining. He's been on basically he's been on TV for the past 20 to 25 years. He knows how to do this. The problem is that all the time with that is that all that is good and well, but the presidency is not reality TV. You know what I'm saying? There are real life consequences to this. You know what I mean? Like, my nigga, you got the nuclear codes. You press those buttons. Ain't no, our show is gonna come back next week. Nigga, we dead. You know what I'm saying? We dead. Like, so it's like we can't. I get the entertainment aspect of this because let's face it, Obama was a huge celebrity president. The camera loved him. You know what I mean? He was one of those celebs. For all the right reasons. But Obama was a host celeb, and Trump is a controversial celeb. But at the end of the day, like Obama knew diplomacy and Trump doesn't. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what causes the entire issue right there. That's what I've always said is like, if Trump was just controversial, but he knew diplomacy, I would have way less of a problem with him being president and controlling our institutions. Right now, like because of that, I have huge issue with controlling our institutions because they break down so much with a character like that in the house. You feel me?
Fam, you know it's funny. We were discussing that our next topic this weekend might be soft power and how do we monetize that in the Black community. I would make the case right now that if no one in the world was over the age of 35 right now, man, I think that this guy's ability to manipulate the soft power, at least of the young people, because like when we're in the clickbait generation where anything you see could just be ooh, he got that shit on lock. Anyone with like grandkids knows better, but for those that are like younger and just seeing this, they would be easy to control. Easy. He'd have so much more damn influence if there weren't people in the world with sense, his age or around that age. And that's the scariest part. Like we're lucky in many aspects of what's going on right now. We are lucky that we've got to watch him fuck up. We've got to watch him, say the wrong things. We got to watch him respond incorrectly to the shit that should have been a cakewalk for anybody else. We got to see this. But to know that there are people out there that goes, I still want to do this. It's like, what? I don't understand it at all. I don't.
Well, I think more people are actually been excited to vote because they don't like the way that they don't like the things that Trump has done, especially within the past year since the pandemic started. That's why there's so much excitement for voting. People are actually getting up and voting because, like, they may have been kind of in the middle before the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter stuff. They might have kind of been in the middle, but because of the way he's handled the situation, it actually has helped galvanize people to go up and actually vote him out. Some people didn't like the way he's been handling running this country, and they actually want to vote him out. And that's why I'm not surprised to see the numbers that we're seeing now with Biden winning many of these states. People are getting up to vote him out.
Biden just won.
I haven't seen this much motivation to vote out a president in my life. I mean, I've only seen a few presidencies, but this is definitely the most motivated I've seen people want to vote somebody out.
I think we got to give Bernie Sanders some credit for that too, because I really believe Bernie Sanders was the one that was really getting young people out to vote. I think he attacked Trump the most and kind of got more liberals, or even not, I won't say liberals, but I would maybe even say just lefties. He got more people far left, you know what I'm saying? Like out progressives. There you go. Even more progressives out to vote for sure. And I would say to you, because even I'm gonna be honest, even if Bernie was running right now, that'd be my vote. And I don't like a lot of his policies, but I feel like he actually is for the people, And I feel like he was the one in 2016 that kind of even opened my eyes, kind of to politics, because I really liked everything he stood for, even more than Obama, So just stand up guy. I think I give Bernie some credit when it comes to people coming out voting, because he was definitely the one pushing for younger people to get out there and vote, So
and I want to piggyback off of that.
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna respond to a Facebook comment. Her name is Micah Love, or maybe Micah Love. She said the man lives for TV. Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, Trump does live for TV. He acts like he's still in a reality TV show. Yeah.
Need I remind anyone that's old enough to remember, this is the same guy that low-key clotheslined the shit out of Vince McMahon 13 years ago. Let's not forget who this guy is, bro.
Remember that?
When was it?
He ran, this is WrestleMania 23, 2007. He clotheslined Vince McMahon in a crowd of like 60,000 people at Ford Field in Detroit. This is a nigga that knows the true definition of heat. He is Eric Bischoff with the nuclear codes, okay? 100%. That's who he is. So my thing was this. Another thing that I think that has influenced a lot more people to come out and vote is that for the first time in a while, people who were not old enough to vote last time have personally, there have been very few presidential terms where almost everyone has been affected in some way by just one person. and their fuck ups. From the pandemic to the tax breaks to the way he handled the coronavirus, to Black Lives Matter, to healthcare. Like this dude did shit that fuck with a lot of people, from those too young to vote, to those who probably don't even give a damn because they didn't live their best life already. Even there, like something, I can't end my life with this nigga. No, I can't do it. I feel like there's been more inclination for people who normally would have felt like they were unaffected, now can feel the full effects. Like when you got students that weren't able to go to school, you know what I'm saying? Socialize, when colleges have to shut down, when you have to like reduce the amount of people that can ride on trains and buses for public transit, when you can't go inside certain stores, when you can't do your early morning grocery shopping, like and go to where you buy guns, when you can't vote in certain states, when you can't get abortions, and if you're a doctor somewhere, like everyone was affected by things that this guy supported. Everyone, it's literally like I wouldn't even say 6 degrees of separation. It's like 2 degrees. At some point, there's a policy or mishandling that has happened in the last 4 years that has affected someone, and you don't have to go that far to get back to Trump. That's how you know shit is bad. But even the people who feel unaffected are affected, both good and bad. This dude has found a way to touch everyone. It's insane the way he's managed to do this unintentionally. That's crazy. So I feel like the unpredictability of a Trump presidency for another 4 years is just too much for anyone to deal with. Like knowing that we lost the Supreme Court justice right before an election happened and he picked one. Like that's crazy, because if he gets another 4, we have, I think, 3 more justices who are over the age of 75. That's risky as hell. Imagine having 4 more justices potentially. Let's just say, God forbid, 4 more of them pass away, and have essentially 5 out of the 9 justices be essentially to the right. What we've seen in the last 4 years won't be shit compared to what we could see over the next 40, 50 years. I'm talking about our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. It's going to get real fucking spooky. And I think that's a risk that no one is willing to take. Nobody. Just getting a sample of what this guy can do, ain't no one with it.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to... Right, I'll get to the comment, but that's actually one of my concerns about this election and Trump's Supreme Court picks, because the people he's picked, they haven't said a lot of very good things about civil rights legislations such as the Voting Rights Act. And we all know with the Voting Rights Act on the chopping block, the way it got gutted under Justice Scalia, we've seen what's happened. There's been a rise of poll closures, a rise of stopping early voting in plenty of states, a rise of discriminatory voter ID laws, not just you have to have an ID to vote. I'm talking about you have to have this specific type of ID, and if your name is spelled wrong, according to us, and we know who spells their name wrong, you feel me? Then the ID is not there. These things affect us. You know what I'm saying, and it basically disenfranchises people who look like us and look like me. It really concerns me. You feel me? So another 4 years of that is something that I really don't want to. I really cannot stand to see. Let's go ahead and get to the comments. What was the comment you wanted to point it out, Noor?
Your mic is off, fam.
Oh, it was just a question somebody asked. Who do we think is going to win? That's too contentious right now. I think a better question would be, how do we think the country is going to be run once, if Trump wins? And then another question is like, how do you think the country is going to run if Biden wins? And I think you guys kind of already touched on it. If Trump wins, it's going to be very unpredictable. There may be violations on civil rights, on many civil rights acts or voting rights acts, especially depending on who he appoints to the Supreme Court. And with Biden, I think what the thing is with Biden, I think he's probably most likely going to attack the Second Amendment. I think he's going to probably enforce more lockdowns, though. I can definitely see that, probably enforce more lockdowns, maybe probably another stimulus check. Maybe the stimulus check might be maybe more generous than what we've already had, or he's going to at least try to influence the Congress to push out a better stimulus check, or stimulus package rather. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to really predict what Biden's going to do, but I think it's definitely going to be a lot more stable than Trump.
Yeah, we definitely will be rolling the dice for sure for another 4 years.
More professional.
Now, interestingly enough,
I agree with that.
Go ahead.
My bad. Go ahead.
So here's something that's been kind of on my noodle like the last couple of years, to be honest. Like, let's say Trump loses, right?
Yep.
I think that personally, and I've been getting killed for this. Let me just preface my comments by saying I've been getting killed for saying that I don't think Trump's a bad person. I really don't. I still don't. And it's hard for me to explain that to people, so I don't bother no more. I don't think he's a bad person. I still don't. I want to remind people that the fact that Trump became president to begin with literally is like the biggest example of you can be whatever the fuck you want to be in this country. Can anyone here on this panel, anyone watching right now, tell me the many qualifications to become president of the United States?
Donald Trump means none. We already know that though.
You got to be at least 35, and you have to be an American citizen.
And if you're not an American citizen, or if you weren't born here, 14 years. So this niggas out here pushing carts at Walmart in the rain as we speak, who had to do more shit to get their job than it did to become the leader of the free world. Now, the reason why I say that, it's really like the biggest example is because when they say that you could be whatever you want to be in this country, to leave the most powerful seat in possibly the world to be so easily attainable. No one said that it's going to be easy once you get it, but to be so easily attainable, right? Says a lot about, just be happening. But now we get to see what happens when, when anyone can just grab the seat. You know what I'm saying? Now you understand why you want the best of the best to be in the seat, despite how open available it is. You know what I mean? Like at this point, you would much rather take a me or Nawar or, a third term from Obama or something like that. You would take a Bernie. Hell, you take anyone at this point, but you definitely don't want another 4 years of this. Like if you now that you can see, the polar opposites of what it looks like when you put the best of the best in that position and the worst of the worst, at least for that position in that chair. My second thing was that I feel like that once if Trump loses, I think it'll be a huge sigh of relief for him. And I think that despite the fact we will never forget these last 4 years, I think it'll largely blow over for him as far as him going back to normal life, whatever that may be for a billionaire. I think that most of his, our qualms about him were like magnified once he got into the office because he had people to satisfy. Most of the people that rock with him probably weren't like huge voters back when Republicans ran shit before, but saw him as like a breath of fresh air for their party. And was like, okay, I'm gonna run with this because he reminds me of whatever the hell they saw. But once that's over, it's like, okay, now they have no one that reminds them of themselves at that point. So it's going to be really interesting if he loses to see how his followers take it. Yeah. I understand that people do expect there to be violence, but I feel like a large majority of the people that do support Trump are not really violent people, just poor and angry as shit, bro. Like,
like I said, it doesn't have to be a majority of people. It can be a small minority. It could literally be 2%. 2% of voters could be violent. But the thing is, what is 2% of? Okay, 60% of the country votes. 60% of 30 million? That's like 210 million people. If 2% of those people of 210 million people are violent, that's still 4 million violent people. Even 2% is 4 violent people. And let's say even 10% of them are armed with guns. That's hundreds of thousands of people. So
Yeah.
You could have 98%. I just basically did the basic math. I don't even know what the number is, but just 98% of people who have voted could be peaceful, but just 2% of them could be violent, and 10% of that 2% could have guns and cause a lot of damage. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't even take a lot to be violent. Yeah, it could be a very small minority. So that's all I'm saying, man.
What I think would be interesting is that
it's that minority I'm scared of.
I'm wondering if it could be a thing where, let's say, I don't know if any of y'all watch like Caleb City on YouTube. If y'all know who dude is,
he's a comedian.
Okay,
I watch him. He's like a millennial.
So he did this video about like how video game minions are fearless.
Yeah.
And after he beats the shit out of everybody, and he runs across that one guy, he's like, scrap. And he's like, dude, I just beat everybody and your boss. You literally have nothing to fight me for. I wonder if maybe in some bizarre world that the same thing might occur was like, let's say Trump loses and those people that we do think might pop out. I mean, of course, there'll be a few. Largely go, look, we was only doing this shit because he was here. This is our guy. We were just rolling with it just because. I mean, like, but we ain't really want to do it, dog. Like, I feel like there are a lot more people who really didn't want to like support the presidency, but probably were like, you know, close to people who were really, really like with this shit and just roll with it for the sake of being safe themselves. I feel like a lot of people, even on the right, don't really fuck with this man like that and just roll with it because it's like, okay, he's here. You know, we didn't really, they had a chance in 2018 to like try to control shit. We failed there too. And now it's like, okay,
this is my team.
You gotta roll it out.
You gotta vote. You know, most people they have one issue voters and one side voters, and you know, obviously you got the vote blue no matter who's, and the ones who vote right no matter what. And I'm me being in the middle. I can honestly say I don't think Trump was a bad president up until about 8 months ago. To be honest, I would say that's
true colors, definitely. Yeah.
You say what, Nep?
I'll say, man, he showed his true colors just the past few months.
Yeah, I think he was actually a decent president. Besides, obviously, the things he say and tweet. I think he was actually decent president when it comes to policies and the economy. You know, actually getting things done for America. You know, and for the working class here in America, even for us. You know, to be honest. And I think he was doing good for America. I'm personally willing to give him another 4 years. I mean, I don't care. How I see it is like I already know what to expect. Already seen him for 4 years. I can say this has been the worst year, but let's be honest. Any president that had this opportunity, not opportunity, but that was in the office at this time, they all could have failed because people would have died regardless. Like, you're not going to stop debts. I mean, even if we lock down sooner, like, you're not going to stop debts. You know, so it's like, yeah, we could have controlled it better, and everybody's going to say that, and that's all we could have did. But I think that any president would have kind of faced, you know, a lot of trials and tribulations when it comes to Corona. So I don't really necessarily fault him for how he handled it, but I feel like once we knew it was a problem, like, don't be nonchalant about it, like acting like it's okay. Like, obviously that's a fucking problem. So, you know, let's show attention to it. You know, so that's what I really have to say. Like, I do think he's a good president. I mean, I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't think that for a second. But, you know, I'm in the middle, and I do see both sides. And one thing about me, I can say, in the Democratic primaries, Biden was my least choice. That was my last choice. So you should understand how I feel about Biden personally. I hate that he's there. Again, I was a big Bernie supporter. I voted for Bernie, and I would if he was president right now, of the candidate right now. But you know, he's not. So I just think that I'd rather give Trump another 4 years in America. I can't see it just going downhill, because it's either we get 4 years of Trump or we can risk 8 years of Biden. And what do you want to do? You know, like, really, that's the question.
Well, I think that's fair. Say that I don't think that. To say, go ahead.
Well, that's one thing.
Personally, like, the reason personally I'd rather do 8 years of Biden is exactly what I said about Trump from the beginning with his choices when it comes to our rights. You feel me? Because those things are very, very serious. This is the reason why I didn't think he was a good president from the beginning, because the first thing he did was cause a constitutional crisis. You feel me? Being president is more than just releasing regulations just because to make the economy better. What we have to understand is that there are always consequences to these things. For example, I can if we remember about 7 to 8 years ago, we had the BP oil spill. The reason that happened is because there was a regulation that was set in place that was taken away, and because that regulation was taken away, it ended up in something not being checked. I forgot what it was. I can't tell you all the details, but it ended up with the BP oil spill. You feel me? These things have consequences, and we know what happened to BP lively. We good? All right, millions of people lost their livelihoods because of that. You feel what I'm saying? So right at the moment, yeah, you can say sure the economy is doing well at the moment because of all these regulations he took away, but we're not going to see the consequences up until like 3 or 4 years later. You feel me? The same thing happened with Bush when he repealed Glass-Steagall, and all of a sudden we had the 2008 recession. That was repealed all the way in 2003. You feel me? It was repealed all the way in 2003. We didn't see the consequences until 2008. So we just can't say that everything is going fine fine now. That makes him a good president. We have to understand that a lot of this diplomacy thing, we need our allies in the Middle East. There were times where Trump actually released secret information to the Russians. That you can say good, he's doing good for the American people, but how is releasing secret information to the Russians going to be good for the American people? It's not. You feel me? Especially our soldiers overseas. You feel me? Especially people who's going to bleed over there, and now the Russians have the secrets. It's not going to be good for us. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to take all these things into consideration. You feel me? And as far as when it comes to us, our community, the only thing that we can say he's done was like with the crime bills. You feel me? Like he did the First Step Act and everything like that. I support all that. Those were all great. You feel what I'm saying? But when it comes to opportunity zones, when it comes to re-signing the contracts for private prisons, when it comes to letting go of regulations, when it comes to prison treatment of prisoners, none of that was good for us, man. Like I just can't afford more years of that, and especially if we go 4 years, especially with the Trump with the picks that we have now on the Supreme Court, I really truly think that more of our civil liberties are going to be taken away, because from the beginning, Trump was rolling back, housing discrimination laws, home discrimination laws, school discrimination were getting rolled back. You know what I mean? Every single one of them was getting rolled back. I can't see how that's going to be good for us. So that's why I can't risk another 4 years of them, in my opinion.
We got another interesting comment from Nosizwe Masiza. I hope I pronounced that right. She said, one thing is for sure is that this election will go down in history. It's just a matter of time of what will be written down in the books. As an observer, it's crazy that in a so-called democratic election, the conversation is less about a choice between Biden and Trump, but rather voting for Trump or not voting for Trump. I stand to be corrected, though. That last point was actually pretty solid. It's between Biden. It's less a choice between Biden and Trump, but voting for Trump and not voting for Trump. So basically, if you don't vote for Biden, that is a vote for Trump. Yeah, I've definitely heard that a lot. What do y'all think, though? What do y'all think of that? When people
she's 100% on point, because it's literally all we can talk about. This thing has literally been less about policies and more about who's going to fix the mess that we got into. But before I continue with that, I do want to, revisit, about Trump not being a bad president. I would say that he's just not a bad person that became president. As far as him being great at his job, absolutely the fuck not, because I can't really personally think of too many things great that was done that influences, a lot of people that could be considered positive. But I mean, anyone is welcome to correct me if I'm wrong, because I just can't think of them off the top of my head. And if you want to point that out, give it to me in the comments, let me know. Now, as far as this particular election, it does suck that, again, it's just one of those things where you have a presidency that is clearly coasting off of, the presidency that came before it, as James Smith said in the comments, and then you find a way to kind of bring that progression, if that's what you want to call it, damn it, to a screeching halt. And not even in the first 3 years, because it was kind of like blah blah. Okay, we know he don't really know what he's doing. Like Trump could be compared to like the Eric Spoelstra of like, presidents. Like it's like, yeah, you there, but we know when you talk, you're not the guy that's running the show, fam. Like, and that's okay. That's okay. Just take us to the ship. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. But now it's like, okay, now you're on your Pete Carroll shit. This election with the coronavirus and everything was like, we were literally at the goal line. You had one job, give Marshawn Lynch the ball and run it from the 1 yard line. You called a pass play with this. And now America's about to lose the Super Bowl.
He fumbled the ball, bro. He fumbled.
Like you literally had your Marshawn Lynch of like advice in the back, and someone just decided to Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and go, you know what you do, you know what you do, you know what you do. Let them niggas come home. Let them niggas come home right now. And you was like, yeah. And now here we are at a point where not only did you lose the game, the season's on lockdown, and your best players are like walking the hell out. Nobody wants to play with you anymore. And you trying to figure out what you did wrong. Well, nigga, look at the game tapes. We clearly see what you done wrong. So it does suck that it's become less about, what we can do better for the country, what's happening with the country, and more so about one person. And that says a lot that this one person, like even people that hated the hell, even the people that hated the hell out of Obama still gave some attention to like, his adversaries at the time, but this has literally only been about this dude.
He's been this polarizing. That only exemplifies how polarizing he was.
I can't think of anyone this talked about since Michael Jackson passed away, aside from Jesus. Okay, like
you know something else I find crazy right now. The state of Texas is actually in play, and that's really surprising to me. Like I just can't get over that. Texas is up for grabs. Like that's nuts.
49 to 49.6 to Trump's 49.1. Hey,
right? Like that's amazing. Man, that's crazy.
So we done been online for like 48 minutes. Can we like get like an update of like the states right now? Can somebody tell me what we're looking at right now? So I just want to get some updates to see what let's talk about it.
Texas 49, it's dead even, like man. 49.3, 49.3, and the difference is 5,000. Okay, so it's pretty close. Okay, so I don't see the score though.
If anyone can get an update, can we talk about the states that already went red and just discuss those a little bit? Because I got some things I wanted to think about for a second. Like what states for sure have already gone red?
Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arizona, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, Illinois, Indiana, and West Virginia, Kentucky as well, Tennessee as well. That's it.
Okay, so that's a lot of goddamn states.
Yeah, they're all predictable.
To be fair, we know that a large portion of the country does not live in those goddamn states. So it kind of goes without saying. But if you are someone that lives in those states, let's take Wyoming. Was Montana one of those states?
Montana, no. That's 59.4% blue and 39.5% red.
Oh, Midwest. Oh,
but both the Dakotas, am I correct?
Both of the Dakotas, correct.
Okay.
Midwest.
So let me talk to the folks out there in the Dakotas real quick. First off, how y'all doing, Dakotas? It's me, your friendly federal ranger. I got a question for y'all because I know that a big percentage of y'all industry out there is textiles and coal. And this man was promising his ass off to protect the coal industry. How's that working for you right now? Are you still so blind that you're going to go, you know what? He just needs more time to help us out. No. Why are you falling for the trap? And for the folks in Wyoming, I'm not sure what to say to y'all right now because y'all not really a state that no one that anyone cares about. There's just some states where it's like, okay, go where you want. Even if y'all went blue, I don't think it would make a damn difference because we know who out there. Nobody in the Buffaloes. Straight up.
Right.
What states went blue so far? I want to talk to them real quick.
All right. The blue states are going to be New Mexico, Illinois, Virginia, the District of Columbia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Kentucky, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire. Oh wait, not New Hampshire yet. And Vermont so far.
Now, I'm actually quite surprised at some of those Northeast states because there tends to be a lot of conservatives that stay up in the far Northeast. So
actually pretty liberal.
It's the big cities that's doing that. It's the big cities. The big cities always go real quick.
They're typically blue or swing. Yeah.
Texas just went back.
Oh shit.
Back to red. Yeah.
Does it end at midnight or what?
Y'all don't want to lose y'all guns.
Nah, bro.
Take my guns, man.
Depending on who does take it. Okay, let me rephrase that. No matter who wins this, what are some things you would like to see from either side? And depending on who wins, what do you expect them to do in that first 100 days?
I would like to see Trump implement his platinum plan for sure. Like, make that the number one for me. Make that the number one goal. Because that recently, I would say that brought a lot of black voters out for him, especially with the celebrities and stuff supporting him. So if he was to win, I would say that'd be the number one thing he should do is implement that plan as soon as possible. And really should be getting started now. And if Biden wins, I would say the first thing he should do is I really gotta think about that. Is I don't know. I hate to say it. I don't like him. I don't like him.
That's fair. That's fair. Mostly, what's up? What you think? What you got?
I mean, I agree with the first part. I would want Trump to implement the platinum plan for Black America. You know what I mean? Even though like I said, I don't like him. I would want to see that plan put forward. I just don't have any faith that it'll happen. I believe that he's okie doking black folks. You feel me? I get really, really frustrated about that because I be telling folks, man, this man has been president for the past 4 years. Why has he never come up with the plan for black folks until it was election season? He's okie doking niggas, man. Like, come on, like y'all gotta know how that politics is not just chess; it's also poker. The man is bluffing. Okay, he's bluffing for you to fold. That's what it is. He's bluffing for you to fold, and once you fold, he's gonna show his hand that he didn't have any queens or full house. He had 2 pairs of tools. All right, that's what he's doing. But
all red cards, baby.
Exactly. So if Trump wins, I want him to implement his platinum plan. If Biden wins, I want him to implement his Lift Every Voice plan because his Lift Every Voice plan is the one that goes for black folks. It carries in education. It carries in major criminal justice reform. It legalizes marijuana. It expands healthcare. It goes into did I say education already? But anyway, his Lift Every Voice plan. His Lift Every Voice plan, in my opinion, is much more detailed because it's actually a couple of pages long instead of 1 page of Trump saying general things that we don't even know he can do. You feel me? But like it's a couple of pages long, full of research, full of things that are tangible and actually can happen. You feel me? So I want Biden to implement his Lift Every Voice plan. Like if any president wins, I want them to actually do something or implement something that's for black folks because we're tired of banana neglect from either side. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would want.
I hate the name of both of their plans. Moff.
You said what?
Oh wait, my bad. Noir. I got y'all confused for a second. My bad. I just hate the name of both of their plans. The platinum plan, Lift Every Voice.
Lift Every Voice. I mean, that's.
I don't like that name because the thing is, it just seems like he's pandering too hard. You know, he's using the Black National Anthem, for part of the.
Yeah, but what's the platinum plan? Like, wasn't hip hop artists always talking about having platinum this and platinum that? That's not platinum too.
I never really thought of that, but I guess so. I just thought of platinum as just being one of the most valuable metals, but I guess that makes sense too. But it's not as obvious though. In my opinion.
It's not obvious. I get that. It's not obvious.
It's definitely not
I don't know if it was 2004. It damn sure would have been.
Platinum
Yeah,
is universally known to be a
really
valuable metal,
really
but Lift Every Voice is something that directly speaks with black people because of the Black National Anthem. That's pandering very hard. Because with Platinum, the thing is, until you point out, I didn't even think of it like that. He can have plausible deniability even if you were to accuse him of that.
Yeah, he can. I like that's the thing about a Trump. He has no, for real, he does.
So he could just be like, I own Platinum, you know? I own Platinum.
My platinum plan is the best plan. I have the best metals. Okay? I know I own gold, but for you people, I wanted you to have platinum because I want to show you that I care. Platinum is a precious metal. It's very good. It's a precious metal. It's very representative of the way I feel about people. You people are strong and very expensive, like platinum. Did I say that? Did I say you guys are expensive? It's a good metal. It's the best metal. It's a shiny metal. I would paint all my buildings in platinum if I could. I'm reserving it for you people. You deserve to have platinum. You deserve it.
That's a pretty good that's a pretty good invitation. That's pretty good.
Yeah, yo, I can't believe Biden's up 122 to 92, man, and California votes haven't even got in yet.
Oh, we know California's going blue, my nigga. Like 50% of the state lives in LA, and the other 50% lives in the mountains.
But that's what I mean, though. Like it's looking bad for Trump right now, honestly.
Interesting.
It's kind of looking spooky. Looking kind of spooky for Trump. But
yeah,
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens because it's even though it's looking spooky, we know that things be happening in the middle of the day and someone just runs away with it. You know what I mean? Like we didn't expect it last time. You know what I'm saying? We didn't expect Trump to get all the Midwest last time, and right now he's competitive in the Midwest. But we'll see what happens. There's a battleground report. Let's see what they're saying. Right now they're saying in North Carolina. In North Carolina, Biden is ahead by 2%. Well, he's ahead by 2% everywhere. North Carolina, Ohio, and Wisconsin. He's ahead by 2%.
Biden just won Colorado.
Yeah, he won Colorado as well.
Wow. Is Colorado like historically a red state?
That's huge.
No, I think they're pretty blue, right?
But it's been consistently blue for the past 12 to 15 years.
Yeah, they've been blue for a while. Yeah,
it's been blue for a while.
I don't think he got Colorado last election though, did he?
Nah, he didn't.
Interesting.
He taking off in Texas, man.
Yeah, he's gonna take off in Texas. But in Pennsylvania, Trump is ahead. Virginia, Trump is ahead as well. But we gotta wait till there's more votes in Virginia. Remember, Fairfax ain't come in yet. So
in Pennsylvania, Biden's actually ahead.
Listen, once California comes in, if Biden takes Texas, I feel like we could probably put this shit away. Personally.
Yeah, if you take it ain't happening, not no more. I thought it was gonna happen, but now I don't see it happening. I think Texas is still open right now. People still voting.
Yeah. It's about what 8:30 over there.
6:30. Wait.
Yeah, they're mostly Central Time.
8:30. My laptop is wrong. Hold on a second. It's 8:30. Yeah. My laptop is wrong.
Okay. I personally, no matter who wins, I personally would like to see, although I'm not, a partaker, I would like to see definitely legalization of marijuana. No question. It's just that fucking time, dog. Like if there's one thing I usually never cared for because I don't smoke myself, I just feel like it's just really that time because it's got to be the most harmless, fucking substance or plant, whatever. Just get it over with, man. Like it's getting to that point, and there's so much money that can be made from it that you can put into the economy. You can find a way to make that happen. Just legalize marijuana. If you don't do shit else, you ain't Even if you don't decide to roll with a healthcare plan, legalize marijuana. I'm there for that. Legalize marijuana. Whoever does it first. If you don't do that within the first 100 days, at least do that. Just do that. This is not rocket science here.
Yeah. And also expunge people's records who got arrested for possession of marijuana as well.
Agreed.
Definitely. I mean, unless you got hit with couple pounds, my nigga, then
Shit, even that pounds.
I feel like the amount definitely matters. Like,
hey, I want to go ahead and
if you get caught with a truck full.
No, wait, hold on, wait a second.
Go ahead.
I think that's a fair point that Nep just said, because with the Biden gun ban, that's gonna make like how many? I've got the number. It was some crazy amount of millions of Americans a criminal. So it should be the same way if you legalize marijuana. Everybody who have a crime, who already have been charged with possession, even if it's a pound, you know what I'm saying, like whatever it is, they should have to be free. And when they look your name up, it's as if you've never been a criminal.
Just remove that from their record, because the thing is, if people are selling it legal, they're going to be selling pounds and they're going to be selling tons of marijuana. So why should I don't think the amount. I wouldn't even give them the idea to think, oh, let's specify how much someone had, how much possession, how much someone had when they were charged for possession of marijuana. In terms of whether we're going to expunge their record or not. I don't even think that's fair. I think that,
you know what,
people
when you say it like that makes sense.
If it's paired with I would just specifically expunge that from their record. But anything else that's not related to that, of course, they might have to stay on though. But just that,
And
I'll agree with that.
Do something about the opioid crisis.
I mean, just like Dave Chappelle said, like it gives me a sense of what they were feeling about us during the crack epidemic. I don't care either. You know what I'm saying? I really stop advocating for that. I really don't care. But hold on.
And not a lot of people are actually being arrested for that, are they? Aren't they just?
No, people are not getting arrested for that. They're not getting arrested for that. I truly feel like I agree. I really want those records expunged. You know, I mean, I'm not sure what gun ban that Biden has in place. Is it handguns or the assault rifles that was back in '94?
That was assault weapons, which really, I guess, is assault rifles. Selective.
Assault weapons. They never use the correct terminology.
It's so vague. Honestly, to me, like I'm not a gun expert, but I mean, assault weapon is just way too vague of a term. They should use the term specifically assault rifle, a select fire rifle.
Yeah, agreed. I agree. I mean, the thing is about gun bans is I don't think that they work. Banning things doesn't work. You know what I mean? You try to ban guns, people are gonna get guns. You try to ban abortions, they're gonna go to the back alley. We banned all these drugs. Look at what we have now, $1 billion industry, and one of the richest men in the world was a drug dealer. The narco, Pablo Escobar, worth $89 billion for drugs because we banned it at one time.
I knew you was gonna say him.
Banning things doesn't work. You feel me? It just doesn't work. So I don't believe in completely banning so-called assault rifles.
All right, libertarian. All right, libertarian. All right, good. Keep on. Keep going.
I don't believe in banning so-called assault rifles, but what I do believe is that more people need to be educated and respecting these sort of weapons. You know what I mean? Because these tools were made to kill as efficiently as possible. You need to learn how to respect them. You feel me? Like we can say the same thing about a knife was you can kill people with a knife. Sure, you can kill people with a knife, but it's a tool that was made to cut your meat as efficiently as possible.
Nigga, you ain't running through a mall with a goddamn knife, bro. Like ain't no one trying to hear that shit from whoever said that, bro. Knock it off. You might get like 4 jukes in, and then you get your ass whooped.
Facts. You feel me? Facts. So it's like when it comes to that, I'm not gonna say have like a huge strict control, but make sure these people have respect for it. I would say the first thing you should do is start these in school. You feel what I'm saying? Just like how we have the driver's ed, we should have gun safety ed. You feel me? Like I used to learn that when I was in school as a kid. I used to learn if you see a gun, call an adult, don't touch it. If you see a gun loaded, you know what I mean? This is what you should do. We should have that progression, you know, in elementary school. See a gun, call an adult. In middle school, if you see a gun that's loaded, this is how a loaded gun looks like. Make sure you call this and that person. For more people who are mature, like people who are in high school, okay, you see a gun, this is how you unload it. This is how you make sure it's safe. Then you go get an adult. You feel me? Stuff like that. Teach them.
You break it down, reassemble it, all that shit. Yeah, guns are very simple. It's just that the fact that they're so simple makes them more dangerous, though. Very simple tools.
That's innovation for you, baby.
I don't think guns are necessarily dangerous. Because how I see it, it's like this isn't dangerous. You know, like this is a gun with no clip in it. This is fucking dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Not the gun. You know, like a gun without the bullets in it, it ain't shit but a piece of metal.
Failure won't stop a mean pistol whipping.
So it's not guns. Because I'm gonna be honest, even if we didn't have bullets that kill, I would still collect guns. You see what I'm saying? Like, I love guns. I don't love the bullets. You know what I'm saying? And I think that if we was to do something about it, we need to start banning damn bullets. You know, that's what we need to do, not the weapons itself.
Mm-hmm. I heard about that. Chris Rock said we should have bullet control instead of gun control. We make each bullet $100 each, and you'll see.
Damn. That would create a huge black market, bro. People would be robbing the hell out of Walmart. Damn. If they weren't already robbing Walmart, they'll be robbing the shit out of it now.
My thing is, if bullets were expensive, isn't the black market where you usually like get isn't shit like normally more expensive on the black market?
No, it depends. The thing is, on the black market, when it comes to like guns, the thing is, it depends on basically it depends on if it's traceable or not or something like that.
It's like won't niggas like price gouge, just like, okay, check this out, fam. I got these motherfucking hollow tips over here. You feel me? Like,
yeah,
but the thing is, it really depends.
I fuck with you.
The black market, you usually get illegal stuff for guns, like a Glock 17. They have that automatic little clip you put on the back of it, and that like stuff like that you can get on the black market, but you can't get it in the stores because it's illegal. So the black market is good when you want some illegal shit, you know, but not really. If you want to buy some ammo, just go to your local gun store. I mean, they have it.
I just feel like some shit should be outlawed completely. Like I shouldn't just be able to see someone with like a Glock with like the fucking elephant nuts on the bottom of that bitch. Like, why is this a thing? How did you get that?
Why not?
They got 2 honey buns right on the side of that shit. Like, you don't need all that. What is it about? Who do you hate? What did they do to you?
Everybody. They hate everybody.
I don't think it's about hate people.
They should ban it because imagine how long it would take to load that clip. What human wants 200 rounds? You're gonna be loading for like 3 hours, bro.
It's like when I see some nigga with like the gun look like a goddamn railroad crossing sign. That is ridiculous.
Gun like a railroad crossing sign.
Man, I mean, personally, I do have an extendo. I have an extendo clip, but it's like 30, 40 rounds in that bit. But like,
that's cool. That's okay.
I honestly just rather have this, bro. Like, I honestly rather have this because that extendo clip is all the way out to here and stuff. I rather just
like that's okay, but like you got a whole fucking like extra 200 on each side and shit. Like, why?
Yeah,
I feel like it's addictive. It can be mad addictive. I can imagine.
I do want one of them. I call them double D's. I do want one of those though. On my AR. Double D's.
What's up? What's up? I ain't got elephant nuts on there.
Yo, Moth, you got some Dracos? I don't have any yet.
I don't got a Drake. I'm about to buy a Draco possibly next week, but he wanted $1,000 for it, so I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not.
I heard that gun is very it has too much recoil and it's not that accurate.
Yeah, that's true. But this right here though, this bitch is accurate. My AR-15. So we can't show guns too long on here.
I'm surrounded by fucking Call of Duty players. Jesus Christ.
Sure. Yeah.
Don't let that fool you. He's strapped too.
Who? Don't tell Trump. Don't tell Biden that.
I'm just out here. I'm running around with the stock gameplay before you pick up any weapons at the beginning of the game. Just these right here. It's all I got.
All right, hold on, yo. We got some projections. They just projected that Trump is going to win South Carolina, and he's going to win Alabama. Those are obvious to me. Trump was going to win South Carolina, Alabama. That's what CNN is projected right now. And
South Carolina.
He pretty much already won.
Alabama were obvious. I knew who was going to win those.
He already won those.
Hey, yo, South Carolina, let me talk to you real quick, man. Your governor, okay? The fuck is up with this guy? The dude said, and I quote, if you black, you can go anywhere you want in South Carolina as long as you are conservative. Then doubled down literally just this past weekend and said to women, you can go anywhere in America as long as you are pro-life. God. How is this okay?
Where you go?
Where'd you go?
I had to roll on the floor for that one. I fell off my damn bed.
This nigga funny, man.
Damn. This what you want? This legit what y'all want, South Carolina? Really? That's what y'all cool with? You can be whatever you want as long as you are this first. Really? Is that the type of shit you support?
Let's talk about the states that haven't got the results yet. So we know California. We know California's gonna go blue. Y'all think Nevada's gonna go blue?
I think Nevada's gonna go blue. I think
Nevada.
Iowa's not gonna go blue.
Nevada's definitely going blue.
Oregon.
Oregon's definitely gonna be blue.
Washington,
yeah, the West Coast tends to go blue as shit.
Yeah, West Coast is going blue. I won't be surprised at that.
Arizona too?
Nah, Arizona's going red.
Utah.
Wasn't Senator McCain from Arizona?
New Mexico.
Oh, okay. So he was next door. I wonder how the fuck that happened. Okay, cool. But yeah, Arizona's definitely going to be red. I expect it because not enough people like in Phoenix, Mesa, and several other big cities there are necessarily. I know Phoenix is going to be blue as fuck. That county is going to be blue as hell. Mesa is going to be blue, but the rest of that state, unlike most states where a lot of people are concentrated in like a few big cities, Arizona's population is pretty spread out. So, and especially if one of those big cities flips, I don't expect it to be Phoenix. If Mesa, Arizona flips red, there's a good chance that Arizona will go red completely. I expect Nevada to be blue. California is definitely going blue, but I would not be surprised if it decided to flip this particular election. I really wouldn't. What's another state that ain't come in yet?
Montana.
Montana's gonna be red as shit. Go ahead.
You said red as shit?
It's gonna be red as shit. First off, right now too. Montana is literally a state. Just to give you an idea of how red that state is. Montana is a state that just 7 years ago, the worst cellular provider in the nation at the time would not offer cellular service there. You know your state trash when Sprint won't offer service in your state. Sprint, my nigga. If you were to click on their map, everywhere was yellow, but this big ass gray thing that was the shape of Montana. And it was just Montana. Y'all niggas gonna be red forever. Y'all was so mad when they shut down the little chirp signal network back in 2013. Y'all ain't been the damn same since. It's cool. It's cool.
Then we got Idaho.
Red. Definitely red.
So I think it's safe to say Trump's gonna take just three more states, it looks like, and the rest are all gonna go blue. But Iowa, you said red for Iowa?
I think Iowa's gonna go red.
That could be, I don't know, because it seems to be red all around it, but we'll see. I think it's gonna go blue though, actually.
I feel like I was gonna go red because unlike most of the other states that it's around, did Arkansas go blue or did it go red?
Arkansas went red.
Arkansas red. So yeah, if Arkansas is going red, Iowa's gonna be right behind it. I'm pretty sure Missouri. Where did Missouri go?
Missouri's 49.6 blue, 49.1 red right now.
Ooh, that's kind of close.
$3,000 difference. $3,000. 3,000 points difference.
Man, that's Missouri is one of those swing states that nobody gives a fuck about. I'm not even for the hold you.
Oh, they just went red, bro.
What?
Missouri 51.1%. To Biden's 47.6% as we speaking.
Trash.
As we speaking.
Virginia?
That was actually Missouri we was talking about.
So if Missouri went red and Arkansas is going red, I'm telling you, you can forget about Iowa. Iowa's going red.
Well, Missouri's not red yet.
If he's down by that much, you say 51 to 47?
Yeah, I mean, it was just even though.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. Ooh, them boys by the river going blue, but everyone from like east of Mississippi, yeah, they probably going red. That state's probably going red. Iowa's going red. What happened with Minnesota? I'm curious.
Minnesota is hold on. They're gonna be blue. They're gonna be blue. That's 64.6% Biden to 33.4% Trump.
Okay. What we looking like in Michigan? Did they go blue already?
I think it was 93%.
Michigan's still red, surprisingly.
Michigan's red. Oh wow.
What?
Yeah, Michigan.
I remember last time. I think Clinton was ahead in the beginning, but then Trump pulled it. He pulled ahead like at the last minute.
Right.
He pulled ahead. Hail Mary.
Damn. That's nuts.
You know what? One of the election that really surprised me: Obama versus not Mitt Romney versus I can't even remember the dude's name.
McCain.
Yeah, Obama versus Mitt Romney. Bro, that election to me was way too close. I thought Obama completely destroyed Mitt Romney. Like I think he was just one of the worst. That was the most one of the most like basically one-sided candidates. Basically, what I'm saying is, I think that Obama just proved himself to be so vastly superior to Mitt Romney that there's no reason, other than maybe bias, racism, and just ignorance, that Mitt Romney should have won a lot of states. Like he didn't offer anything. He flip-flopped on almost every platform or every political position.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember when it was like he had binders of women that he was going to appoint to certain positions in the government.
Yeah, I mean, Mitt didn't. It was awful. This campaign was awful, man. But like, we seen what happened in 2016. Like, Trump's campaign in 2016 was pretty bad. It was pretty terrible, but he pulled it out.
And people put the focus back on him. Except this time, we got 4 years of him, and people are still only talking about him. Like, I just don't want Biden or any other person that would have been elected. If he didn't get the nomination, to make this election about him. And I feel like that's one mistake that's kind of being repeated low key, that this election is still about, Trump. And it's almost like when you tell someone not to think about something and now that's the first thing they think about because you said
he's the main character.
It's like, dude.
They made Trump up to be the main character of his own story, bro.
Oh man!
Oh dang, Pennsylvania. It's only 19% in, but Trump is pretty close. 50.1% Trump, 48.4% Biden, 19% in Pennsylvania.
Wait till them big cities hit in. It's a wrap. Pennsylvania should go blue.
Honestly, they should. They usually do.
Because I know Philly finna be blue as hell. Pittsburgh will be blue. I don't know what Hershey and shit like that and what they looking like. But once you take Philly and Pittsburgh, like, forget about it.
It usually means you're about to win.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing, man.
Go ahead.
The thing is, like, with Pennsylvania last time, Hillary actually won Philly. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a toss up. You know what I mean? But
Did she
it's
take
only
Pittsburgh
19%.
with it though?
I don't think she won Pittsburgh. No.
You got to get both, fam. That's like coming down into Florida, taking like all of South Florida, and then like losing Orlando, bro. Like you need at least one more. You know what I mean? Like winning Florida, in my opinion, is damn near like playing spades. You got to have at least one of those possibles. You got to get the 3 guaranteed. You got to get the South Florida. Got to get West Palm Beach. You got to get Broward. You got to get Miami-Dade, and then you just need one more. Take Jacksonville or Orlando or Tampa. You should be fine. But if you don't, you got to fight on your hands. Speaking of which, one of the things I would like to discuss concerning the election, moving into 2024, what should Black people do as far as where we eventually end up moving, migrating to, so we can turn more sections in our favor regardless of party. How do we effectively do that?
You said something about migration. What happened?
Yeah, how do Black people effectively migrate different places within the nation, build up economies and populations there, so we can have more say so when elections come up? Like, what do you think should be the goal in doing that or making that a possibility?
We don't even have control of the area now, man. I don't know.
I feel like if we found a way to put more of our people and less, here's the thing, we're always historically not to be just like a blue or red thing, like we're historically as people getting more blue places to be where we're at because we're concentrated there. But there's a lot of Black people that live in Florida, I believe, because Florida's the 3rd most populated state in the nation, only behind California and New York. And of the about 22 million or so people in Florida, I'd say about a good 40% of them are Black, roughly around that number. And please find that out for me. I feel like if we were able to spread those numbers out evenly into other cities that might be historically red, like Pensacola, Tallahassee, Gainesville, states like Florida wouldn't be so swingish. You know what I'm saying? Because we would help, pull those counties. I mean, depending on your political stance, and be able to affect, elections, better in our favor. But 17%,
only 17% Black. Yeah, y'all less Black than North Carolina. North Carolina is like 22, basically 23% Black.
Niggas dipped out since I fucking moved. Jesus, it was so much higher.
No, 54% white. 54% white. I mean, it's above the national average, which is Black people only 13% of the population.
That's crazy.
Black people 17%.
That fucking sucks. What happened? No wonder we ain't getting shit done. Oh, my people are like, I'm sick of this shit.
I mean, I think it's a combination of things, man. Like the pay in Florida sucks. You feel what I'm saying? Like we don't want to
absolutely,
and we don't want to deal with the BS of being driving through the states where we're gonna be treated aggressively. Like it's like the state just sucks for us. You know what I'm saying? So people just leave.
It's like there's more racism in Florida than North Carolina, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
listen,
so it's
man,
like the state just
I
sucks.
can believe it.
As far as how do we migrate out in order to start controlling elections? Honestly, there's only 13% of Black folks in this country. 48 million is a lot of people. That's the size of a nation. But in a country that's this big, where there's 330 million people already, the only thing that because I was looking at a statistic one time, you feel me? If you look at the people who are descended from Irish and descended from Italians, each of those are about 40 million each. You know what I mean? So just those white folks alone, just that community alone, is already almost equal to our population. I would say the things that Black folks need, honestly, a lot of people is going to find this controversial, is more immigration of Black folks. for real, that's really going to be the only way to increase the population over the next 20 years.
A lot of Africans actually are conservative. I know Africans. They're typically red. That's what I noticed.
Yeah. A lot of people from the Caribbean are socially conservative, but like when they learn the history of America and they see how things operate, they tend to go more Democratic than they do Republican.
Freaky.
How do Black people effectively migrate across the nation to help win the elections? I think. Oh wait, was that the question you asked? I try to get it. How you say it?
Fair ass. Yep.
Okay.
Hey Riley, how's it going?
Hey Riley, welcome.
What's up?
We're talking
my
about.
laptop's messed up, so I can't use it. So I'm using my phone.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we're just discussing basically the election, and we have a question posted up. I'm not sure if you can see it since you joined late. I hope you can see the comments we posted earlier. But basically, Fed asked, how do Black people effectively migrate across the nation to help win elections? Yeah, he posted it again just so you can see it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I was gonna answer. I think that actually, wherever we're at, I think we're mainly on the South. I think we're good where we're at though, because I'm kind of hold on. I gotta pull up. I don't want to state the wrong facts, but I want to say the Black vote is the most important vote in the election right now. And hold on, give me a few. Y'all can talk about something else, and I'll get back into it. I want to look up something real quick.
Okay. Yeah. I think if we migrate too much around the country, I think what will happen is we'll actually weaken our voting and political power, because where we are now, we're pretty concentrated, especially down south. We're typically over 15% of the vote, and the thing is, we vote the most out of any other people besides white people. We basically vote about the same as much as them, about 60% voter participation, 60 to 65%. Okay. So considering that. And then we're already concentrated. If we start migrating to other states without also increasing our population, we're just going to weaken our voting power and our political power. So I'm not sure if that right now at our population level if that's a good strategy. Yeah. Fair enough. We would definitely more Black people have to immigrate over here. Because our birth rate is kind of low now. Like I think Black birth rate is only like 2.2%, which is barely above replacement. And then if you consider a higher mortality rate and everything, then our population is barely growing. It's only growing from really immigration. So.
Wow.
Okay, so what I think,
I see the point. Idea. I see what you mean though. To basically soften up some of the red states, right? To kind of make them more swing. Make it a more even, I guess.
Now, here's the part that blows my mind. Considering that a large portion of us do stay in the South, it's amazing to me to see that, so many states can still go red when, we tend to, in some of these southern states, go out, in more numbers and vote than, our white counterparts. Like states like Virginia, even South Carolina. I mean, yeah, they're gonna stomp us the fuck out. They come out. They come out. But in other states, such as Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, even I feel like not enough of our people in those states are coming out as much as they do in some of the more I want to say the word affluent Black states like a Georgia, like a Tennessee, if you want to count Maryland as being in the South and whatnot. I feel like if even more people just came out that were in the South just came out to vote and participated, we could easily take those states, more in our favor. I don't want to say blue or red, but just more in our favor to affect the change that we really do see, because we could definitely put the people that we want, in the White House. If more of us came out of the South, because I feel like there's definitely more of us here in the South than in other states, and yet these are the states that we tend to, lose the most, regardless of who the fuck wins.
Yeah, but I think that has to do with like black people are still in general minority, and like mostly every single state there's like a high non-black population in that state. But I do think it's pretty interesting that like I feel like more black people seem to be voting Republican instead of just going with Democratic all the time, which is kind of interesting because like Democrats seem to depend on black vote.
That's what I'm trying to get to right now.
One thing I was going to say is, do you think that Biden, I guess for optics' sake, him nominating Kamala Harris as his running mate, do you think that helped or hurt his chances of winning?
Didn't do a goddamn thing, because regardless of who he picked, we're still not talking about whoever. The fact that we didn't really want this nigga to begin with, let's just call it a spade. We didn't really want to pick this nigga. Just that there were way too many fucking people fighting for the Democratic nomination on that side. On the Republican side, they kind of always knew it was going to be Trump again. But, for the sake of, just doing it, it happened. I mean, we got to be clear, just to put this in context. Since since fucking slavery ended, I think only 3 presidents have not gotten a second term. And I think 2 of them were fucking assassinated. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a rarity that you don't win again. So I mean, like, on a Republicans, they kind of knew who that guy was going to be. But on our side, I think just more people decided to just throw their hand into the pot. And that didn't help anything, because nobody really stood out with a hardcore solid plan that just made them go, that's our guy. Not one person. Aside from Bernie.
People tend to go with what's comfortable more. It's a psychological thing. That's why second terms are very common, because people they don't like change. They don't like what's new. So going with the same president that they had is, unless that president just completely destroyed the country, that's the more comfortable option. And then on the Democratic side, Biden is the most comfortable option, because we've already seen him as vice president with Obama for 8 years. People are used to seeing his face. He's been in politics for 573 years. So
yeah, good point.
I like how you
my
caught
man
yourself.
That football number.
Yeah, I had to correct myself. 573 years. So
just being in politics for that long is damn near like a life sentence as is, bro. Like, I don't see how anybody.
Since the Middle Ages, president.
He was right on the money. But as far as who he picked, I would say that because he was the person that selected Harris, that it meant a lot less than if somebody else would have chose her as their running mate. I feel like the conversations about her probably wouldn't be as prevalent or even exist had someone like, say, a Bernie Sanders picked her as his running mate, because it wouldn't be seen as pandering as much as it did when Biden picked her. Because it's like, wait a minute. Because you gotta understand, at least if let's say if Bernie would have picked her, at least we know that he had the balls to like get at her during the debates and whatnot, call on her shit and check her when she was stating some incorrect things about his policies and whatnot. But it almost seems as though like low key Biden was kind of like sidling up to get ready to pick her regardless. Once he made it. And that just makes his selection of her not as strong as it would have been for somebody else. So I really think that it's not necessarily about her. It's who was the person that chose her was why the choice doesn't really mean shit, because it was him. His choice of her is indicative of him.
And I was gonna say that him interviewing Cardi B didn't help with anything, with him like not trying to pander
when it comes
black
to
people.
Go ahead, Riley.
Right, I said it already. I said that.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
They're interviewing about Cardi B.
Wait, what?
I said Biden interviewing Cardi B did not help with the pandering at all for like.
Oh yeah, it was much too obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What's kind of messed up is that as much foul shit as Trump has said, during the course of this like campaign, we're kind of just used to it. So like, we've become too used to it where, Biden, as bad as that statement was, can say something about if you don't vote for me, you're not black, and we just blow it the fuck out of proportion. It's like, how bad someone's got to be kicking your ass in the media for you to just say one thing, and it's just like get all more bad press than anything this fool says on a day-to-day basis. I don't understand it. Like it speaks more about how this man just did not stand out. I can't do it with this guy.
Hey, that was still that was still messed up that he said that. I don't care.
No, 100%.
Disrespectful thing.
100%.
I've heard from any candidate, directly to black people that I've seen in a while. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's more like the law of large numbers. Like the more something is happening, the more it's like it's not a big deal. But then the moment that something like that comes from the other side that doesn't normally do it, it's like, oh snap! It's like, woo, didn't expect that, Biden. Fucked up, right? This sucks.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm looking at the projections in the map now. Yeah, Trump is really pulling ahead now in a lot of states. A lot of states
damn.
Pulling ahead.
What we looking at the electoral college votes right now?
Right now it's Biden 89, Trump 72. But right now, a lot of states are now going towards Trump. North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, they're going towards Trump now. So
damn.
If he gets those, then it's pretty much over with.
It's trouble. It's trouble for sure.
I don't see a path to victory for Biden.
So what we're looking like is, hold up. Now, let's say he takes those states. If Biden still manages to pull out Texas, is it still a fight towards the end or what?
He ain't getting Texas.
If he manages to pull out Texas,
ain't no way he gets Texas.
I don't think he'll get Texas either. But he pulls out Texas miraculously, then it's still a fight. Yeah, but it's impossible.
Yeah,
I don't think he's getting Texas.
I think it'll be freaking 70-30 Trump in Texas, probably 75, 80%. I just can't see that. I think that when they look at Biden, they honestly just see anti-guns and they just say, heck no.
Yeah.
So based on what we're looking right now, even though Biden's ahead with the electoral college votes right now, are we feeling like Trump about to take this thing for a second time or what?
It's still kind of early to tell. I don't know. Let me see.
Yeah, it's still a bit early, but Trump is pulling ahead in a lot of states that he would need to get to that 270. He's running away with it. Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina. He's really pulling away. So Michigan too. I'm really surprised about Michigan.
North Carolina is actually fairly close right now with 90% reporting with 49.7% Trump, 49.1% Biden. So they're still pretty.
What state is that again?
North Carolina's always been a swing state, so for a couple decades.
That can go either way.
Yeah, I'm actually not even surprised that we see that. Yeah.
Tragic.
But Ohio was Biden's all night, but then now it just pulled ahead for Trump, and now he's really running away with it. He's really running away with Ohio. So he takes those 3 states. I don't see a path to victory for Biden, even if he wins all the other states. So wow, it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be North Carolina is really close right now, super close.
So, question: are the polls closing on the West Coast right now, or are they open like later? Because I know it's like 7:00 over there.
We might get those tomorrow, huh?
I'm not sure when they're closed.
We might get those tomorrow. We might gotta go live again tomorrow.
Nah, I got
man.
I'm gonna go to sleep. Can't be live. It's gonna be a long night, y'all. This might be our longest stream because it's gonna be a very long night.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm neutral. Like I said, I mean, I don't really care who wins. I really don't.
Like I said, whoever wins just needs to legalize marijuana immediately. Just get it the fuck out the way.
Legalize marijuana and don't touch guns. Boom.
Legalize marijuana, don't touch guns.
And put out your goddamn black plan, goddamn it. Like shit.
And pull out your black pen. So what I was going to mention earlier, I found a chart, but I was trying to share it. But we can't send pictures to the Facebook group, I guess. But the chart that I found is pretty much, it shows like well, back to that question you asked earlier. The chart that I found pretty much shows like that we pretty much go Democrat. Like since 2000, we've been between 38 and 69% voting for Democrats. And even in Texas. So I guess the real thing is, do we want to migrate to make states more blue, or because I don't think the Democrats are really per se helping us. Not saying I don't think anyone is. Let me just say that I don't think anyone is helping us. The safety nets they put in place for our communities, the Democrats did, I think is actually hurting our people more than helping them, because you give these safety nets that would give you like, you know, housing or food stamps and stuff like that, but like in actuality, you're not giving anything to our communities to give us better education, you know, just better jobs, better jobs and stuff, like just to be economically powerful. Like you're not giving us that, and I feel like at least I noticed that most conservatives that's black are actually well-off black people. I did notice that.
I noticed that too.
These are people that actually have like great careers, good jobs, and I just sit back sometimes and wonder, well, why is that? You know, and it's like I don't really see a lot of us that have money.
So question.
It does lead to one of our topics, which one thing I did kind of wanted us to discuss probably more in the future in depth, but like because like definitely I remember watching a video. It was saying that if you subsidize certain government programs, what you do is you support it, and you're going to make people more likely to use those programs instead of like empower themselves. So I guess that kind of leads to the question, like, would black people kind of benefit more from a bootstraps mentality, or like more, which is a kind of conservative, or more like the liberal mentality where, you know, you expect many things from the government in order to benefit you? And that's just,
you know, what's crazy as hell, and I can answer that question right now. When you think about all of our most like successful black people, especially those that are like millionaires and billionaires, even down to like our music artists and, you know, athletes and whatnot, that shit requires a lot of fucking hard work where there ain't no hands out. Like you got to beat the next nigga who looks just like you, who might, you know, rap better, jump farther, throw a football, you know, might like sell more packs on the street than you do. Like you literally are in competition with the next man. And like no one that's doing that really sees it as competition. Like no one will look at Jay-Z and go, well, I feel like, you know, somebody gave him, like if someone gave him an opportunity, he made the most of it, then he like built his way up to like billionaire status. He had to pick himself up by his fucking bootstraps and shit. But like, I think that when you say that, it doesn't sound as appealing to people than, you know, getting help, because everyone's going to need help at some point, but there's only so much help you can get. And at some point, I feel like even people that do get help, at some point, you will have to get off your own fucking ass. And as much as I hate to say this, there was a guy, he was Republican, said something about, he believes that black people don't have the desire to be as successful as, you know, their white counterparts, which I think is mostly bullshit, but I could see some truth in that because of, you know, things that people have become accustomed to and things that some people just don't want to do. Because again, as Vosi would tell me a million times, we as humans are creatures of habit, where we love shit as easy as possible. We're creatures of least resistance. Whatever's easy for us is what we're going to take. Nearly 10 times out of 10. And those that become successful are usually the most uncomfortable, doing the most hard work and doing shit that we couldn't fathom doing. Even something as simple as waking up at like 5 a.m. is just like a stretch for some niggas, bro. Like, at the job I'm about to start doing, they have I'll probably be there from like 6 a.m. to like 2 p.m. Some niggas can't picture waking up at 4 a.m. for no damn reason at all, which is weird because those same niggas will stay up till like 4 or 5 a.m. any goddamn way. And it's like, what did that get you? What the hell did that get you? And sometimes a little routine, and I wouldn't even say it's most about picking yourself up by your bootstraps. I translate that to discipline, strictly just discipline. Sometimes picking yourself up by your bootstraps is strictly another way to say just discipline yourself. I was in this just to give an example of that, not to stretch too far from the topic. I was in this group that was about 440,000 people strong, about Black people raising, their credit scores, learning about credit. And I say a lot of y'all are struggling with this because you don't have like order. Almost everybody in this Facebook group got a cell phone, I'm sure. Use your Google Calendar and set everything up to just remind you and see how it goes in like 2 months. And when I check back in 2 months, so many people were thanking me for that post and whatnot. Excuse me. And it's like, it's just discipline. So picking yourself up by your bootstraps, in my opinion, would more so mean just having the discipline and the drive, because there's only so much help you can get. Like, take for right now, with people getting, the unemployment assistance. Like, for some people, that $600 a week is, or whatever they get, is great, because some people don't make that much money now. But when that shit ends, what did you do with the extra money you were making from this program than when you actually had a job? What were you doing with it? You know what I'm saying? Were you enjoying it because now it's your turn to get yours, or were you trying to make something happen before this shit came to an end? Because I'm pretty sure it's already over, or is about to come to an end regardless. So, like, what were you doing at that point? So, to answer the question, could we benefit more from a, pick yourself up by your bootstraps mentality? Sure. But we can't just, escape the fact that there's a reason that we have to pick ourselves up by bootstraps more than our white counterparts. We're not going to ignore that. But at some point, we all have to do more than what we want to do if we're really trying to get somewhere. And it shows in how successful you become.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, the issue that I've always had with the bootstrap mentality is that it forgets that some people don't have boots, man. Like, we just can't ignore that. We can't ignore that some people just, because bootstraps it's a metaphor for the opportunities and the resources that are handed to you. There are many people who don't have these things. You feel me? Even when we think about
Facts.
all the rappers and the sports stars, those sports people, they started in a position where they didn't have much resources. But most sports stars got signed out of college. You feel me? The resources were there for them to get signed. The NCAA promotes these niggas like crazy. You feel me? Rap stars, they had a resource. The label promoted them like crazy. You feel me?
But there still was work that they had to do, because here's the thing. The old saying goes, you can't turn shit into sugar, fam. Like, I don't care how many of those. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not saying that hard work isn't necessary. I'm saying that hard work isn't the only thing that you need to be successful. Because
so what's the percentage?
You could work the hardest in the world, because we have to realize something. There are people in third world Liberia building bricks who work harder than anybody that we'll ever know in our lives. They ain't rich. Why? Because Liberia has no opportunities. No matter how hard you work, if you don't have any opportunities, nothing will help you out. Nothing will go through. You feel me? And of course, there are issues where you have to find those opportunities. You have to go out and look for them. You have to go out and search for them. All that is true. But if we don't have the base resource, the base opportunity to get somewhere, you are way less likely to get anywhere. You feel me? When it comes to as far as a safety net in America, the safety net in America actually sucks. You feel me? We don't have a generous safety net. You feel me? Our safety net, we can view it as generous, but when it comes to something like food stamps, not only is it sometimes difficult to get, but if you make at least $1 over an arbitrary amount, you lose all your food stamps, and that causes people to not want to work any harder because they're gonna lose their food stamps. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. However, if we do it in the way that they do in, let's say, somewhere like in Scandinavia, where that arbitrary standard isn't there anymore, people are gonna work harder to get their stamps. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not that the safety net is dangerous in America or to Black America. It's the way that we do it. You feel me? And the way that we do it is just terrible, which is why in the beginning I was going for Andrew Yang, because he was just gonna eliminate everything that we got and go for a minimum basic income. You feel me? Because with the minimum basic income, they just give you $1,000 a month. You feel me? And everything else is on you. You got to go shopping. We give you food stamps. You got to figure out your own medical care, everything like that. You feel what I'm saying? If we just had that, then people will actually work harder just to have extra money.
It ain't like the money ain't there, my nigga, because we definitely found out that it is.
It's there. We know it's there. You feel me? So it's like I appreciate the bootstrap mentality because I know that hard work is necessary, but I also know that hard work is nothing without opportunity. And yeah, you gotta find the opportunity sometimes, but at the end of the day, someone still has to open a door for you. You feel me? It doesn't make you less of a man to walk through it, but someone has to open a door for you. 9 out of 10
Absolutely.
times.
Everyone will need help at some point, and that's why I kind of like think about it when I think about stuff like that. The first thing I reference in my mind is back there in the 90s when Master P and the No Limit Boys was running shit. No matter how good of an opportunity that was given to you by Master P and how much he dressed up that tape, I'm never going to listen to Charge It to the Game or whatever the fuck that tape was by Silk the Shocker, because Silk the Shocker's ass. That's just that. Some of us out here are a bunch of Silk the Shockers, G.
Silk the Shocker, though.
We need to become more murders and mysticals without the murders, obviously. You know, everybody can't be, everybody that can't be me and X. We need, less Mr. Magics and a lot more Snoop Dogs on our labels. Just saying. Okay.
Well,
Silk the Shocker's trash.
So what you were saying, Bossy, I actually agree with you as far as the safety nets goes. But I think the problem with safety nets is there's not really a policy put in place for people to not abuse them, because that's what I see. I see people abusing the safety net that we have, and I'm not cool with that. And don't judge me. It's stereotypical what I'm about to say, but this is kind of what I'm saying. You guys see it too, especially living in Miami and where I'm from, New Orleans, and even in Houston. You get these women, and they're not all black. There are even some white women that do it too, or Hispanic women that do it, that just have all these kids just to have these safety nets. And these kids are struggling, growing up in the house with no father. They have 10 different baby daddies. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And they do this just to receive these safety nets, that's in place. And that's not fair to me. That's not fair.
We definitely. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Hold on. I can't have 5 kids and I'm expecting a safety net. I'm gonna get child support, which is also a safety net for women. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get child support. So that's why I don't agree with the safety nets they have in place. They gotta do something about the policy of them. Now, as far as the bootstrap mentality go, I'm all for it. And I think the fact that you mentioned you have to work hard to get an opportunity itself is the bootstrap mentality. Because you have to work hard to get an opportunity. Life don't just hand you one. Just because you're born in America, a place that have freedom, that you're not guaranteed opportunity. In that case, niggas wouldn't be in jail. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers wouldn't be out here getting molested and raped and shit. I mean, it just wouldn't be happening because we all would be in a place that can't happen. We all have an opportunity. Nobody gets that. There'll be no kids in the hood in that case. No projects. It wouldn't be any of that if everybody just had an opportunity. You have to work hard. Like me, I have to put myself in a position to somebody to see me working hard as hell to say, you know what? This dude could be a good worker. I'm going to give him an opportunity to be a plumber. You know what I'm saying? But it took me busting my fucking ass for somebody to see that I had the will and the wit to actually want to do it. And that, to me, that's the bootstrap mentality. Not wanting to be a statistic, accepting an opportunity. Because a lot of people don't accept the opportunities. Like Fan said,
100%.
It's a lot of shit niggas won't do. And I don't even say that word a lot, but I've been saying it today. But it's a lot of shit niggas won't do. And to me, that shit pisses me off because that means you don't have a bootstrap mentality. You're totally okay with the life that the government's giving you. You're fine with it. And I have a problem with that personally. So I feel real adamant about the bootstrap mentality. And I think that I'm sorry, I'm glad I acquired it, because if I didn't have it, I don't know where I would be. I probably would be dead, in jail. I could have been the kingpin, but nothing positive. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel that because I was actually talking to one of my partners one day, maybe about 2 weeks ago. He told me he had to go out and I'm not gonna put his name out there, but he essentially had to rob a motherfucker to get some money for some shit he needed for his kids. And I'm like, I say, fam, there are a lot of jobs that are hiring. They might not pay the most amount of money, but the jobs are there. You're unemployed, bro. Do something And he was like, man, I can't see myself,
Yeah.
doing customer service like you, or being a valet for some cracker, at like a Hilton hotel. It's like, why the fuck not? Is the money like less green or something like that? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I've done everything from working cardiovascular care at a hospital at the age of 19. I've been a middle school janitor, my nigga. I've been a fucking middle school janitor. It sucks, but like the work ended up panning out for me. Like, I'm not gonna turn down no opportunity, especially when it's there. Like, I don't get that. Now, what I will say is that the opportunities that are presented to people can either A, be made more appealing, and B, be more available in place, which is why I was going back to when we talked about how we can help kids in school get more into trades and bring that back. If we make it a requirement in education, okay, you reach the senior high school, you have to choose one of these, and let's make it not just a couple of, one of these like 20 fields, and do at least like 1,000 hours in this field, you know what I'm saying, to graduate. When I graduated high school, they told me you could either go to college and do this shit, or you could volunteer at the hospital. I volunteered at the hospital because I learned so much stuff while I was being there, and by the time I graduated, they offered me a job. Ironically, I couldn't start because I didn't have my fucking high school diploma. I was waiting for it, but that's neither here nor there. There are ways to put opportunities in people's faces and also make them appealing. It's a two-part job, but it's not like the opportunities are not there, the money's not there. We clearly have the resources to do this, but as the old saying goes, you can lead a horse to water and you can't make them drink it, fam. So like the bootstraps, you could pull them up, but it's like niggas will still be like, well, I don't like these shoes. I can't do shit for you at that point. I can't.
Yeah, of course. Like I hear everything. I hear everything y'all saying, but the issue that that I have is that the fact that opportunities in America are not guaranteed to everyone is exactly the problem. You feel me? We live in one of the wealthiest and greatest societies on the face of the planet. Why are not opportunities available to everybody? I can't that mentality right there. It sounds crazy to somebody living in Finland or Sweden or Scandinavia, where they hear that, the opportunity to do well in school, the opportunity to have new computers in your classroom, the opportunity to have teachers who actually care about you is not guaranteed in America. That sounds so crazy to them because it's like, how does your society exactly? It's like, how does your society survive and progress without caring about the people that are going to come to you in the next generation? Like,
I'm with you there.
It's like the fact that these things are not guaranteed from the beginning, because the thing is, a lot of people start to think that equality of opportunities means equality of outcomes. All I want is equality of opportunities, and we don't have that. We don't have that. You feel what I'm saying? We just don't, and it's not a good thing that we have. It's a reality situation that we're living in, but it doesn't mean that it's a good thing. You feel me? It doesn't force people to work hard, because the thing is, people start to think that if because there's no equality opportunity, that's going to force people to work hard. But there's another side to this. Sometimes it forces people to give up. You feel me? Because human psychology is not always the way that we think it is going to happen. It's not always intuitive like that. You feel me? If something, remember what I've always said, the path of least resistance. You feel me? If there's so much resistance just to receive an opportunity to put food on your table, they're gonna take the path of least resistance. A lot of them are either gonna do the easiest thing, which is negative, or they're just gonna give up.
Don't take it the wrong way, B. But when people give up, I'm sorry, but for example, let's say I was at a plumbing company and somebody gave up, and when that person gave up, maybe that gave the opportunity for me, who was working hard with the bootstrap mentality. You see what I'm saying? Like, because I wanted that position. That guy gave up. He had it. And now I probably have my own business making $1 million a year, 15 million a year, whatever. Like, multi-million corporation, because somebody gave up. You see what I'm saying? And I feel that position and I stuck with it. So I feel like it's a mentality. Like, that's my whole point. The bootstrap mentality gonna always win. I think that you're probably more against it because the bootstrap mentality is also similar to a capitalist mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, to where you expect to work hard to get the best things, and basically not fail and just kind of control your situation. When you talk about leaving things behind, the bootstrap mentality will allow you to leave things behind. It will allow you to give your kids opportunity, to give their kids opportunity, and give their kids opportunity, and even people around them opportunities. Hell, my friends work for me. everybody I hire is my friend. I don't hire nobody that I don't know personally. You know what I'm saying? So how I see it, if I didn't have this mentality, I wouldn't be able to give the opportunities to somebody else. You get what I'm saying? You got to have that bootstrap mentality just to be able to even have any opportunities, to be able to give somebody one. It's a capitalist mindset.
I want to go into the middle with that because.
Go ahead. I want to be the reply.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is that I'm not against the bootstrap mentality. I believe the bootstrap mentality is flawed. You feel me? That's where I'm coming from. I don't believe that the bootstrap mentality is necessarily a bad thing. I believe that these things are flawed. It doesn't reflect the reality of generally what we're living in. And sure, the person that gave up gave you the opportunity to go ahead and be successful. But the problem is that life is not always a zero-sum game. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not always a tit for tat. You feel me? Like, just because, okay, you had the opportunity to move forward, and that person gave up. Unfortunately, their life became worse because of that. These things, like, they're more than just yourself. You feel me? Because we don't live on an island of just ourselves anymore. We live in an entire society. We live in an entire nation. Because we're talking about this as a Black community. You feel what I'm saying? If we have more people in the community giving up than they are trying harder, it's gonna make things worse for us. You feel me? It's always gonna make things worse for us. So I'm not saying that I'm against the mentality of bootstraps. I'm not against the mentality of working hard. My dad put me my dad taught me to work hard all the time. He taught me I'm gonna have to work harder than anybody else around me because not only am I Black, I'm an immigrant. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to work harder than everybody around me. So I do believe in hard work. I do believe in bootstraps that way, but I also believe in the fact that I had a father in my life that gave me boots. 9 out of 10, like 7 out of 10 kids, Black kids, they don't.
I can tell you why.
What happens to them? You feel me?
I can tell you why. Your father had a bootstrap mentality. Your father had that mentality. Exactly what I'm talking about. You're like me. I have a son. You know, I don't want to talk too much about my personal relationship with him, but I just talk about him in general. You know, I have a son, and I feel like it's my duty to do what your father did for you. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's my duty, but that's also part of my bootstrap mentality to make sure I pass it down to my son, to my seed. So your father did was right, and it's like you actually have a bootstrap mentality. You know what I'm saying? And you know you do. You know what I'm saying? But I think also you just care about the people in general, and I also do too. But this is how I see it. I love my people. I love my Black people. I love all y'all. I don't know y'all, but if y'all was to die, I would shed tears for y'all. You know, like I love y'all. You know, I love my people. But this is how I see it. When you have a group of people who is willing to give up, then to go through with something, how is that the other half of that group's fault? Like, what can I do for that person when they already gave up? Yeah, I can offer what I got, you know? And if he don't want to do it, I can't keep offering this dude something that I can't offer him. You know, I can't offer you anything else. This is all I got. Like, hey, look, I'm a plumber. Hey, look, I know a lot about credit. Look, I know a lot about saving money. Now I can teach you all of that stuff. But if you're not willing to take it in, what else can I do? You know, like, it's an individual thinking, you know, it's a mindset. And like, you should thank your father for having that mindset, you know, because he gave it to you. He really did. And I know you care about people, B, because I do too, man, but you can't help everyone.
The thing is, I understand that we can't save everyone. Like, I get that. You can lead a horse to water, you can't force him to drink. I get that. We can't save everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, my father did have the hard working mentality. He did have the mentality that you gotta work hard to get what you want, but he also didn't neglect the fact that he was lucky to get to America. You feel what I'm saying? Getting to America wasn't due to his hard work. I mean, he could have stayed in Haiti and be a doctor over there, but he had to get out of that situation. You feel me? It wasn't hard work that, you know, put him on the raft to get over here. You feel me? It was straight up luck. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't neglect the fact that, like, in life, like, is like working hard is like you can work hard every single day of your life. If
can I cut you off?
what I'm saying is that you can work hard every single day of your life, but if no opportunity is presented to you or you get no opportunities, even though you're working hard, you still won't get anywhere. You feel me? You have to like opportunities like you. Just like I said, like there's plenty of folks in Haiti and Africa right now who are working harder than any of us right now, but they are not successful. They are not rich because there are no opportunities in those societies. Opportunities have to exist and have to be, and they're not guaranteed in those societies either. If we guaranteed an opportunity to succeed from the armed front, that's all that needs to be that needs to happen. Of course, there's going to be people who give up. Of course, there's going to be people who are just not going to want to do what you want to do. They're going to want to be out in the street. Of course, it's going to be that. But like, if we guarantee the opportunities from the onset, if we give people the boots from the onset, then we'll tell them, okay, you guys need to strap up because we gave you what you needed. You know what I'm saying? This is what's here. You got what you needed. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to move forward with it and strap up. If you're giving everything that you need and you still fail, okay, that's on you. Because I know people who had opportunities that I had and they on the street. That's on them. I can't save them. You feel what I'm saying? That's all on them. But for the people who didn't have what I have and they on the street right now, I can understand how they got there because they never had what I had. The only thing I can do right now is introduce them to a way that said, okay, you can have what I have, and this is how you do it. You feel me? That's where I'm coming from. Bootstrap mentality is fine as long as everybody has boots. Not everyone has boots.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What are you doing, bro?
Well, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start with a question. I'm gonna also end with the same question. First, the question I'm gonna start with, and I'm end with the same one is, at what point are we mixing? Well, I mean, answer that a different way. How would you compare opportunity and luck? That's the question. How would you compare opportunity and luck? But I want to say something else real quick. I'm gonna give a backstory of how I got into plumbing, and plumbing is something I'm proud about. I always talk about it almost in every episode because I'm really proud of what I do. And this is how I got into it. I was at a car wash. The manager fired me. The reason don't even matter why. I really think he had it out to get me, but they fired me. So I don't have a job anymore. There was a windshield technician. I used to do that when I was like 18. He hired me. I worked for him for 2 days. I had a friend that did plumbing, and his boss needed some help, So obviously I went over there to help him one Saturday. And bro, when I say he gave me like $120, I think, and I was like, damn, I never made that much money at the car wash. You know what I'm saying? Like in one day. Okay, let's say 6 months later, this man, he lost his business. Whatever happened, he lost his business. Okay, that was opportunity. No, I'm sorry. That was luck. That was luck, right? That was luck. I was lucky that my friend called me and says this company needs some help, whatever, right? But after that, he lost his business. I had to literally go out on my own and call over 30 plumbing companies, go on many interviews, interviews, and just look around trying to find a job with plumbing because I wanted to stick to that career. And finally, out of all the companies I applied for, somebody gave me a chance. Now I don't consider that luck. You know what I'm saying? That's an opportunity because I literally, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I mixed them up. I'm sorry, I mixed them up. The first one was opportunity. The second one was luck. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I called all these companies, you know what I'm saying? And finally, that one dude gave me a chance. That was luck. So I'm trying to figure out at what point, how do you compare opportunity to luck? Like, how do you see that as a difference? I guess.
Well, in that case, I'll interject and answer that question because luck is definitely something that you don't have control over, and you can actually put a little bit of you have minimal effort in doing, and then opportunity is something that has literally nothing to do with you because the opportunity is there whether you know it is or not. It's almost like some trees fall in the wood type of situation. With the job I currently work for Goldman Sachs, I applied to that because I was tired of working for Cigna. But when I was plotting my move out to Vegas, I'm moving out there next month. One of the first things I saw was this job in real estate that paid like $100,000 a year plus to start. And I'm like, well, shit, I meet the requirements, but I don't live in Vegas. And I'm like, the opportunity is there, but like, how the fuck do I get there? True story. My man Vosi on the line, he hit me with a play. He bought me a plane ticket. I went out there. I did my interview. They hired me on the fucking spot. Now I'm finna be a 6-figure nigga, all because, you know what I'm saying, I'm lucky to have a friend like him in my life, but the opportunity was fucking there. Even though I didn't expect to get it, I just took a chance on it. But that was on me. I could have been like, damn, 100K a year, I ain't qualified for that type of shit. But I got the job now. It's like, whoa. Some people might say that, but like, man, this shit must be a scam. I ain't even for to check into it. But here I am, licensed to do real estate in a whole other state I never lived in my life, about to be making like the kind of money I could only dream of because I had the opportunity was put there. Probably not for me, but I just saw it and I did it. And I got the luck of having, good people in my life like Vosi. That's like, this is my little testimony as far as that's concerned. So opportunity,
I see.
So in that particular instance, opportunity is just something that is just going to be there, whether you take part in it or not. And luck is pretty much, I would say luck has something to do with you. Really depends on like what happens when you take action.
I mean, luck is all about preparation and opportunity. Are you prepared to take on the opportunities that are out there? So a lot of times people will say lucky, but all it is you were just prepared to take that opportunity that was presented to you. Because if someone is unprepared and then they have the opportunity given to them, they're not going to be able to profit or benefit off of that opportunity. So I'm finally able to respond to the bootstraps mentality thing. So basically, I think it's kind of like, I think it's a combination of things. Like, I think no one's going to say that you won't benefit from bootstraps mentality. The thing is, I say that mentality it's a mentality where you just basically have to just think that you can't rely on anybody. Like you're ultimately you're responsible for your own future. Like you're responsible for in your life. No matter what happens, you are the ultimate person who's responsible given the circumstances. Not everybody's given the same cards in life, but with the cards you are given, how are you able to play those cards? Like so that's basically my opinion on that. I just think that I know I haven't really come from a very tough environment. I am pretty privileged and whatnot, but I have just seen it just seems like just from what I've seen with different people, when they adopt that kind of mentality, they just it might be people all from a family, right? And it might be that one person who kind of took that, that type of mentality where they know that they have other family members who might fail for whatever reason, family members that are in and out in jail, or family members who didn't achieve that much. They all grew up in the same household, but it took that one or two of those people in that family that actually said, you know what, I'm actually try to be something in my life, and then they end up becoming something, So, but I definitely do see that there's a lot of barriers to it. There's definitely a lot of obstacles. It doesn't have to be as hard, but
shouldn't be.
Given that it is as hard as it is, there's always, at least in this country, there's definitely a way out.
No doubt. What I will say go ahead.
Yeah. The difference between luck and opportunities to me is that luck is something that you have absolutely no control over. It's something that just happens. Yeah. I mean, you have absolutely no control over what happens to you. Opportunity is something that you can seek and that you actually can control in some ways. You know what I mean? Let me give you an example. A person who's born with basically basketball skills. You know what I mean? Like they're born, they get really tall, and they're just really good at basketball. There are people who are naturally just really good at sports. Like for real, like there are people who don't need much practice. An example of that is someone who was in the NBA, AI. They would say AI would go to the club, stay there till 3 a.m, come back the next day and still drop 20 points. He was just good. You feel me? He was just good. Like he would miss half a practice and still come back and get 20 points. He was just good. You know what I'm saying? He was just born that way.
And to piggyback off that, the crazy thing is, as a point guard at the league during the time, he was probably considered too small for his position. So a team didn't even have to draft this nigga at his height. He couldn't see over any fucking body. He was like barely 6 feet tall. So a team took a chance on him. Yeah, so it's like a team took a chance on him. So he was, athletically inclined, but still teams looked at him was like, this nigga's too small. This is the time where like big men really dominated shit. Like when you got your Shaqs, your Elijah Wans, you know, your Patrick Ewings and whatnot still in the league. Your Tim Duncans, your David Robinsons, when big men were still getting fed the ball. So you going, well, shit, I'm gonna pick this 6 foot nigga to beat these guys, and Philly was still like, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? That's an opportunity.
That's the opportunity, exactly. So him being born with that type of skill was straight up luck. He had no control over that. That was straight up lucky. You know what I'm saying?
Nor his height.
Nor his height, exactly. But Philly putting him as point guard, that was the opportunity. So luck you have no control over. Those are things that just really happen to you. The opportunities are things that come across.
He still had to put in them hours though. That's that preparation.
Facts.
Exactly. That's facts. That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
But as far as the original question, when the original question was well, not the original question, but like the comment that kind of led off in this conversation was when you hear, you know, the right go that black people don't have a desire to be as successful as other races. I think that's complete bullshit. Complete bullshit.
You can honestly look at history. I mean, the thing is, if you just look at history in Africa and stuff, you can just name many West African kingdoms, West African societies, the Benin city, many Ashanti cities of the Ashanti kingdom. They're basically compared to some of the greatest cities in Europe at the time during the 1500s. You know, they were very clean. They had roads. They had they had industry. They also had shops where they would repair guns and weapons and stuff. So yeah, I mean, you can see successful examples amongst every single race. I don't think failure or regressive behaviors and regressive outcomes are something that are just natural to black people at all. I think it's just like being in a perpetual system that has kept us down for centuries. I think that's what's keeping us where we are today. I don't think that's just something that is natural to us, the way that the right wants to portray us as. It just naturally fails.
Yeah. Well spoken, sir. What are we looking like at the map now, dog? Like, it's getting kind of late.
Right now, as we speak, Wyoming finally in. They're 26% reporting Trump 74.3 to Biden's 22.9, but y'all already called that one, I think. Utah 64% reporting Trump 55%, Biden 40%. What else we didn't talk about? I think was Illinois talked about? Oh yeah, we already talked about Illinois, right?
I'm not sure what they got.
Illinois is 65% reporting, 54.2 Biden, 42.8 Trump.
Chicago ain't fucking around.
Yeah, nah. I would check the counties, but that's too much. We talked about Pennsylvania, that's important. 55% Trump right now, 42.3% Biden.
He taking that shit.
That's tough.
Can we swing back to Texas just one more time? I don't know why I'm a glutton for punishment, but I gotta hear it.
Texas is Donald Trump 51.3% to Biden's 47.3%.
Yeah, I think it's all
but
right.
He's only down by 400,000, and it's only 73% reporting. So
he's down by 400,000.
That's it.
What you mean that shit?
I mean, that's Texas we're talking about, though.
I feel that, but that's almost a $500,000, dog.
73% reporting, though, and this Texas we're talking about. I mean, it still can turn around, bro.
That's a small margin.
Yeah, it still can turn around.
Fair enough. Anything on the West Coast starting to come in at all?
Just Utah, and that's it. Yeah, just Utah. Arizona. Did we talk about Arizona? Yeah, we already did. I think 53.7%. Joe Biden to Trump's 45% at 73% reporting. So,
all right,
crazy.
Riley. Have a nice night. Woo! What a night. Well, I tell you what. I feel like we should go ahead and at least for my sake, I'm gonna go ahead. We got any final thoughts? We done been here for a hot little minute. The election's still going strong. Who y'all think? Who are we gonna wake up and find out took this shit?
Sorry about that.
Who you really got?
It's looking like we seeing a repeat. I think Trump is gonna go ahead and take it. He has way too many states pulling for him right now, so I already think he's gonna go ahead.
86.
Idaho.
Wait, or am I behind? Actually, no. It's like, what's the
Idaho just hopped in 1% reporting 92.3 Donald Trump, 6.4% Joe Biden.
I told you them niggas it wasn't to be shit.
Trump, they ain't playing.
It's the most exciting thing that I've done all year.
The election may come down to Arizona, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. And Biden is getting away with it in Arizona, but PA, Michigan, and Wisconsin are pulling for Trump right now. So
what?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this.
By a huge margin, but it's only half. Like Wisconsin, 56%, Michigan, 42%, and Pennsylvania is 44%. So I mean, we still have a lot of time. So we're, whoa, 3 states just went Biden. Hold on, California, Oregon, and Washington. We already knew that though.
Of course,
we knew that. Yeah, we knew that from the beginning. Yeah, we knew that.
So,
well,
I feel like since it's only 400,000, I really feel like I'm gonna hope that Texas, gets its shit together. I personally, although I agree with my boy Moff here that I personally don't think Biden's a bad Trump is a bad person. Although I think he's a terrible president, for the job itself, I don't think he had bad presidency until just this year. He's definitely the most vocal. He's definitely entertaining as fuck to watch. And
most crass.
He's definitely going to lower the fuck out of our soft power as a nation if he wins again. Like, nobody respects this nigga. It's weird. This nigga's damn near bulletproof. I don't see nothing happening. I'm just afraid that if he wins again, can someone please just quickly Google the current ages of the Supreme Court justices? If someone could do that for me, that would be great. Just so I can know. I am very concerned with, how many more justices we can lose over the next 4 years if this nigga wins again. How he could shape the Constitution if that takes place. And how our civil liberties would be fucking under fire.
Let's see the ages. You want me to just tell you the ages or the names too?
Just give me the ages. How many of them are over 70?
I'm gonna just give you the over 70.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Just 3.
Just 3.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
So everyone else is pretty young.
Yeah. Well, it goes from age, looks like 48 to 82.
Damn.
48 must be that chick you just picked.
Yeah, Amy Barrett. Yeah.
Okay, so 48, and then we got 3 70-something-year-olds up in there. How old was Ruth Bader Ginsburg when she passed away? Was she in her 80s?
She was like 80.
Yeah. She was 80 something though. She was in her 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Answer your question. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm afraid that these upper 70-somethings, God forbid that they go out. Can you give me the exact ages of the 70-somethings? I need to know what we're looking at here.
So we got Clarence Thomas at age 72, appointed by George Bush.
Okay.
We got Stephen Breyer. Huh?
Oh no, go ahead.
Stephen Breyer, age 82, appointed by Bill Clinton, and Samuel Alito, appointed by George Bush, age 70.
Okay.
Clarence Thomas is pretty conservative too, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Clarence Thomas is a straight up conservative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clarence Thomas believes that gay marriage shouldn't even have passed the Supreme Court.
So we got 2 conservative 70-something-year-olds, and then we got 1 Democratic like 80 plus.
Pretty much.
Now,
well, I mean, they're not
that
supposed to declare any political affiliations. I don't think. Yeah.
Right and left, I should say. So we have 2 rights that are in the 70s and 1 that's kind of left in the 80s. So knowing that we could potentially put, let's say if we happen, God forbid, we lose that one in the next 4 if Trump gets reelected, it's scary to know that, we could, go from something that's fairly balanced as far as the Supreme Court goes to something that leans a lot more right. And young at that, which is tough because at that point it's very impressionable. That's my only concern. Even if Trump takes this shit, I'm only concerned about the Supreme Court justices. And with the pandemic still raging the fuck on, with essentially like the second wave and maybe a third, with countries back overseas now seeing spikes all over again, it's nuts. That's the only concern I have. The Supreme Court, and just how the Constitution may be affected if some shit like that pops off. Granted, the odds of that happening, for that to be changed, requires at least 37 fucking states to begin with, which is super fucking unlikely. So,
of course,
difficult, but not impossible. With the right people in place, and I feel like that's why these elections are important. So, if Trump wins, I don't want to say, I can't simply confidently say I feel comfortable that nothing will really change as far as the way our lives are affected long term. I don't like that. I can't say that.
Well, one thing I have to say, I do think Trump. I would say that Trump isn't really a good person. Well, for one, he's been having these Trump rallies with thousands of people, and he doesn't enforce a mask mandate, even though everywhere else in public enforces a mask mandate. He's valuing. The thing is, the dude is a narcissist because he values basically the attention that he's able to receive from people. He values attention, and he honestly he's treating this entire presidency like a talk show, and he values like the excitement, like he's some kind of rapper or at a concert or something. He values that over people's safety. And even though he knows very well, because he has Fauci right on his right hand man as far as medical and medical advice and whatnot. He knows that social distancing and wearing masks are necessary to limit the spread of the virus, but he doesn't care.
Caught COVID himself.
He doesn't mandate. Yeah, he caught it himself because he wasn't wearing masks, social distancing, and just like all the other stuff he's done. Pulling us out of the Paris Climate Accords. Defunding. I believe he defunded the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, as well as defunding a health institute. I think it was either the NIH or something, National Institute of Health. I believe he defunded that, and with that, they actually used to give out free tests for HIV, especially for LGBT people. So there's just a lot of stuff he's done where he's rolled back policies that used to help out various groups of people and environmental policies. So I don't know. I would have to say that I don't think he's a good person. I think he's kind of a bad person for that.
I mean, in my opinion, like, I don't think Trump is obviously a narcissist, so I don't think narcissists are good people. You feel me? In the first place, as far as his presidency, I'm really worried. Just like what Fed said about the Supreme Court, I'm really worried about the judges that he's picked on in the other federal courts, because many of them he picked are hostile towards civil rights legislations, and that affects us heavily. That really worries me about the future. Economically, the reason why I'm worried, and most people are not worried economically, but the reason why I'm worried is because rolling back all these financial and banking regulations, we've seen what happened with that. We got 2008 when that happened. If he rolls those back again, like I'm very scared of what type of recession will hit. You know what I mean? Now,
this generation is not prepared for that.
Not prepared for that, exactly. Now, recessions are natural; they always happen, but we always have to. We can't actually control how bad it gets. With everything that he's rolled back right now, this could get very depressing level. You know what I mean? So it's worrisome. it's worrisome. Now, when it comes to the economy, I know I'll give Trump credit that he's pretty good on that. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him that credit.
Only thing he's good on.
Yeah, I think he's good at that. I'll give him credit for that. But like I said, like rolling back those type of regulations are very, very worrisome. We don't know what happened in the future. You know what I mean? So it can be unstable. So that worries me. But my main worry is always the judges he's picked, the Supreme Court he picked, and how society reacts. Because we've seen over these past couple of weeks leading up to this election, how his supporters have reacted in the streets to, you know, Black Lives Matter signs, to Biden signs. And I think if he wins, they'll just become much more emboldened to harass people even more. And during the entire time, like, multiple police officers have been exposed for being socially backwards, basically. You know what I mean? Not just flat out racist and not just flat out chauvinist, but socially backwards, period. You know what I'm saying? So it's a really worrisome and contentious situation. Now, if he wins, of course, maybe 70 to 80% of my life doesn't change, of course. But like, as far as the mood of the nation, that's worrisome, and that's what worries me about Trump getting another term. But I guess we'll have to see what happens. What you gotta say, Moff?
Well, I mean, like I said, I honestly don't care. I mean, I personally feel like no matter who's president, as long as I strive to just be the best person I can be personally and just make sure I build a good foundation for myself and my family, you know, like I should be set off regardless. You know, I mean, if you got money to last yourself through a recession, you know, you should be all right. So it's kind of like if something like that was going to happen where the economy fell, I'm planning to put myself, you know, to be in a position to where I have enough money to survive however many years those is. You know what I'm saying? So it don't really matter who's president. I just want to focus on what I'm doing personally. And I don't really see a big change in my life since I started working, no matter who been president, whether it was Obama or Trump, you know, or George Bush or whoever.
Work's
you know, like,
keep coming in. Work's gonna keep coming in regardless.
Yeah, I've never seen change, you know. So even when Corona first hit, like on the news, it was funny. They said people that's working right now are police officers, firemen, and plumbers. You know, and that was on the news. I just started laughing, you know, because I was like, damn, like I'm a plumber. I'm really out here working, you know, like it didn't stop. In fact, I got busier, you know. So it's like I just think that like kind of like you said, Bossy, if one of them just, you know, implement that plan, any one of them, you know, that'd be good for me personally, because I get to see my people have opportunities to start being better, you know, like I am. So it's like I want that, you know. I would love to see that. So whoever's president, somebody just implement that plan and let's get that going, you know. So that's kind of just my final thoughts as far as
legalize weed. Whoever the fuck we're in, legalize weed. Get it over with.
They gotta legalize that for real.
Yes, sir.
Keep the gun. Yeah, keep from touching those guns too.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't think that even Biden saying he's going to do that, I don't think that is going to actually be possible, especially with the Supreme Court being so Republican. You know, they're not going to let that shit pass.
Yeah, they'll probably rule it unconstitutional and rule it out.
Yeah. So I think
the thing is, one thing I wanted to say earlier, yeah, because I mean, even logically, I think less than 5% of gun violence is like committed with assault rifles anyway, or any kind of rifle. Less than 5%. So that's kind of stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Let's go off and get this live stream because I'm gonna take a nap. I'm trying to tell you the truth. I'm tired.
So we are we coming back tomorrow night to like discuss the outcome or no?
I will think about it. We'll think about it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm down. Well,
yeah,
I'm down.
I'm down.
All right, yo. Let's see what happens. Let's wake up and see if we in fucking going down the rabbit hole or if it's gonna be Nightmare on Elm Street in this bitch.
All right, man. Y'all have a good night.
Till next time, folks. And yo, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and do all that other stuff if you're watching this live. Share it to your friends. Like the Speak Up Podcast Facebook page. Follow everybody here on social media if they have it. I am Magic City Mike's. You can find me on Federal Ringer on the Facebook page, and you can go to youtube.com/Federal Ringer. I have one video of me sleeping in a car, but I'm there.
All right, man.
All right, y'all. Yeah, have a good night now.
All right, good night.